boom, 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 boom. Like, share, subscribe. Show some love to your brother. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you guys ready up there? Okay, just give me a second. All right. All right, quiet on the set.
Ow! Peace and blessings of the Most High, the boundless omniverses. Let me start all over. Ow! Peace and blessings of the Most High, the boundless omniverses, multiverses, tri-verses, dual verses, and universes be upon you all. An earshot and eye shot of the God. It's your friendly neighborhood Pharaoh Rise of Shepsi's Dwamu Tefa Amon, and welcome to another episode of Revision Radio, where we seek and analyze right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, right thinking, right reason, and right action from the third eye point of view. Welcome you all for joining me, whoever you are, in space and on space and beyond space. You know, this time, that time, or the other time. Appreciate you. I know we done blew the lid off it. I know you're gonna dig this. You know, we got the people talking. I hear we got the people talking. Listen, man, let me say this on my family. Rahubad first. Let me say all that. Rahubad, we saw. What's happening? What y'all up to? How y'all feeling? I know I left y'all out there for a couple of days. I was tired. It was tiring. I was tired, beloveds. You see me? I'm in my click outfit going to the dance floor. Everybody know what that is. Might know what that is. I hope you don't. I hope you don't know what that is. Unfortunately, I do, you know. Rahul back to the family. Rahul back. Water 9. Coach Anpool. Peace and blessings, beloved. What's up, God? Kahil Low, Rahul back. Yeah, tonight, man, we're going through some more recapping. We got some more unpacking because let me excuse me. Let me first say this, man. You know, I had those two brothers up here. I appreciate both of them for coming up here and unpacking and sharing with us their position, their point of view, and their plans. You know, what they did was it was like, you know, it's like dealing with like elections, and they said they're giving everybody their plans and where they stand. But you remember, you know, we're not a tribe, a nation of believers. So, you know, I got a lot of people feeling some kind of way. And I'm like, bro, we supposed to take all the information. What the master say? Don't believe nothing. Check it out. That's it. But we've been playing ourselves, claiming to be scientists and not doing the work, the diligent research. We've been running around claiming that, you know, we Sabians, we Wapians, we Sabians, we this, we that, we followers of the master student teacher, but we don't want to do no research. We want, because we so spoiled with the master just dumping up information on us that you don't want to go to look for nothing. So I tell everybody, I'm like this. We gotta dig through it. We gotta search and then research. We gotta search and then research. And then we have to ask, seek, and knock. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just, you know, people say, oh, you know, a lot of brothers and sisters, you know, they jumping ship, they running over there to be with this person, that person, the other person. It's like, People been doing that in the tribe for what? This is revolving doors, constantly moving like that. You know, then you have people from other organizations, they come over here. You know, we looking for the key to freedom right now, though, bro. We ain't playing. And naturally, we gonna be tested. You think you're gonna say that you believe and not be tested? Surely those who came before you were tested. Some of them even died. So like that comes with the territory. Didn't it? We had some sounded good. Some of them was sounding real good. But Panatha, right? Panatha is always working. You had brothers. I let the brothers unpack. I prefer one line of thinking to the other, but we still digging out this situation for the freedom of the tribe and the freedom of the master. And if it don't add up to that, then it don't matter. It don't make a difference. What they give you: the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I give you the world and all that you live for. Oh, you gotta do the R&B shit. And even more. So girl, you know what I'm saying? It don't make a difference what's being offered. It don't make a difference. If it don't tie in and we paying attention. Remember, we nine-mind reasoning. Now, I'm not one of the people that say, oh, all of this stuff is fugazi. That's not, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna say all this stuff is fugazi. We're not gonna say that because Bobby Anoon set this stuff in motion. Oh, our guest for the night is here. Round back, God, you hear me? You're not officially on yet, but I'm still trying to work out my back studio. I'm trying to work out my studio time. I can't. He all modeled up. I figured I was gonna throw my throw on. I said, oh, hold up. I can't do that. I gotta come out here. I gotta style. You know, I gotta work. I gotta represent for the home team that I'm one of the #1 distributors in the country. Yo, so let me read one of these my cool words of the day. What's today's date? I'm gonna read this. October 20th. I read from my cool words of the day every day. So, well, when I'm on. Because sometimes I gotta take a break. Remember, I was doing like every day. Oh, y'all niggas was burning me out. Y'all was burning me out, God. God said for October 20th, he said, people who live in glass houses should not cast stones. A lot of niggas' glass houses about to shatter because everybody want the truth until they knock on the door. You understand? So, yeah, the truth is coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm the son of the sun. And even though I'm Shepsi's Duamutef Famun, as a part of the ancient Egyptian order, I'm speaking to you most of the time. I'm coming in the embodiment of my ancient mystic order Melchizedek attribute, which is Nanya Nawub El, which is the noble representative of the Most High. Okay, George G.M. James says on October 20th, the Egyptian mystery system, like the modern university, was the center of organized culture, and the candidates entered it as the leading source of ancient culture. In the Kemetic mystery system, there was a basic set of rules that neophytes had to learn and internalize if they were to become living manifestations of the God force within. Stolen legacy, y'all. Nothing short of the mastery of these rules would elevate their minds to a level where they could begin to comprehend the multidisciplinary material required for great thinking. This cultivation of the mind, body, and soul required decades of quietly sitting at the feet of those who had already mastered the subject matter and wise in the way of African people, studying the materials and universe from which they were systematically gleaned, thinking about what had been learned and what had yet to be refined and corrected, and meditating to still the body and quiet the mind so that divine thought could freely flow and appease the spirit within the facilitated intuition. In the end, a master stood all in all ways inseparable from his people. He religiously practiced the art of good speech, and always he exhibited good character in all facets of life. Affirm, I am a neophyte of the wisdom and way of African people. Listen, partner thoughts guiding us, family. If y'all ain't see that yet, I don't know what to tell you. You can't handle the truth. Listen, we here. So whenever the God is ready, we gotta guess. We gonna walk with her. I'm sorry for being late. I was supposed to be at 8:00. My sound wasn't working at all. You already know. We on this high frequency. We raising this thing up. All right, Emotep, you ready? Give me a nod. Let me know you ready. All right, we got the God Emotep. He in the house, beloved. Very glorious. Y'all show the brothers some love and stop playing. And yo, make sure. Here we go. Hold up. I pressed the wrong button. It's the glasses. I can't see no more. Well back, beloved. What's happening?
Well back, Musa. Rabbi,
what's going on, man?
Always good to build with the God.
Oh, you already know. Slow motion beat no motion, but when you crack the speed of light, everything slow down a little bit more. So we watching it, waiting. What's good, man? You looking good. I see you been doing your jogging thing. I've been peeping you.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Walk like your life is sitting on it, because it does.
Nah, it's real.
Teacher, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. We gotta get the walking. I was sitting there worried, but my glutes was hurting, and I was like, damn, what the hell I was doing? I was walking back and forth. I was like, oh damn, I think got my glutes hurt. I'm crazy right now. I need a pillow.
Yeah, you got you, man.
Yo,
getting up there, man.
Man, I ain't trying to hit. Nah. We gotta rewind. Gunshot me, rewind. Lick shot me, fast forward. You said, yo, family, we have the good brother. Emotep is in the building. And if you see my apparel, y'all be harassing me like, yo, where you get that hat from, God? Where you get your shirt from, God? Listen, this the beloved brother right here. He the one, man. He be touching his magic, and that's what it's about. It's about utilizing our creative energy, the creative force manifesting in flesh. Find your lane and manifest that. So the brother was showing us love for years, since we had the Essence in the Wapu platform.
Oh, yes,
you wanted a major, man. We turned heads with that. It was like, what y'all doing with that on there? Wow, the brother showing love. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real.
No
but
doubt.
For the family, that don't know, because we gotta, how the revolving doors. A lot of people don't be knowing who's who and what's what. And for you one of the brothers, keep the secret sacred. The stable ones. So, the walk us through, introduce yourself to the brothers and sisters. We got sister here from London, to the brothers and sisters on deck, man. Introduce yourself to the family. And give us your journey, whichever part of your journey we gonna walk through. Whatever you feel like walking through.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on here. As I was telling you earlier, man, it's beautiful that you create the platform so we can get out positive energy with all the negative sideways stuff coming through it. If you look what Pops always did, he always set up his own platform. Even though everybody invited him everywhere else, he always had his own, so we can get our message out, because it's all about saving souls. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to big up myself like that. Whether you're here a week or here, 50 years, it's all the same. But I've been, blessed to, be walking this journey for a minute. Blessed to be on the land, learn a lot from, Baba. Just learn a lot, and just taught class up there, part of the second triad. I was like the DH, designated hitter. When one of the other three couldn't step up, I was up in there, and just trying to pass on some information. We still got class down here, passing on some information. Any questions anybody might have. Anything I can
What
clear
days
up.
you teach class?
Excuse me.
What days you teach
We
class?
rocking down here on Saturday.
On Saturday.
And then we
Okay,
got
okay.
language class on Fridays.
All right.
And we're gonna spark that up, throughout the week. Grow that. So we still out here rocking down the South, down the dirty.
I understand. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you were a part of the triad too, man. A lot of people don't know that because every time they think about the triad, they just think about the first triad with Mental Tep, Haru Tep, and the brother Michael Brown.
Michael Brown.
Yeah.
Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
No problem, beloved. Hey, yo, y'all family, y'all listen. We got Emo Tep, Nubia Apparel on deck. You already know what they mean. Bakari, I see you, God. Yeah, this our family, but letting you know how like the family, they see that we putting the good energy up front and that the focus is saving souls. You know what I mean? Like, and representing the tribe and the master the best way we can, man. So I really appreciate the God. But yeah,
that's wifey over there. She,
Oh, roll back to the goddess. How you doing, sis?
You know what I mean? Just give me a shout out. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you had the first triad, like you said, with Mental Hotep.
Haru Hotep and
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown, Young Tahuti, that's running around. He over there with Killer Priest and him.
Okay.
He be on Killer Priest show every week. He still be throwing daggers and stuff.
Oh, it's all good.
People. Yeah, it's all right. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute.
It is what it is. But he was a figurehead for a minute. Then Country Hotep took his spot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was those three rocking. Then the master had created a second triad with me and my brother Matson from London, brother Leon. And then eventually.
Oh, Leon was in there too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow. Okay.
We were a second triad because it was never meant to be just one triad. It was supposed to be triads, different cities, male and female triads, all female triads.
When we first heard about it, I was trying to go there. It was like an audition. It was like we talking about Baba was like, yo, he want people to go up and teach class. He gonna be in the crowd and ask questions to see how you handle the pressure. You know what I'm saying? I was dying to get out there. I was like, man.
But it was a purpose for the triad. Because no one person can answer as many questions as the master can answer from so many different subjects. So the triad was, we three do meet in perfect harmony as one. And it was just a test for three people to come together. And everybody has their specialty and what they really focus on and what they might be knowledgeable about many areas, but it's something you really, can focus on.
That's right.
So as a triad, it was like, y'all coming together, get to know each other's strengths, weaknesses, and work together, answer anybody's questions you might have. It was also a thing of suppressing your ego. You know what I mean? Because you might know, in the triad there was a rule: if one brother said they didn't know, then no other brother could answer that question. Because you were supposed to be able to represent as one person, one individual. So if I said I don't know, then my brother couldn't get up there and answer it, because if I don't know, we all don't know. So
exactly, that's heavy.
Working behind the scenes, be like, okay, if you're not sure, throw me a bomb, and I'll come get you, on the back end. But it was so you had to suppress your ego, learn, to keep your ego in check, and unfortunately, some people can do that. So
that's a major statement right there, because you be looking at some classes and they be eager to step in when brothers don't know. Oh no, when a brother has said, what it was is like, damn, killed him.
That's actually the highest level of being able to teach. It's saying you don't know.
Facts.
You know what I mean? If because what the master explained is whenever you should always have a nervousness when you teach class. Whenever you're speaking to somebody, and the minute that nervousness leaves, then it's time to stop teaching.
That's right.
Because literally, every time you speak to someone about your doctrine, or about their health, or about anything, you're playing with their soul, and it's not a game. It's not a class. It's not a game. It's not something to play with. So anytime you're building with someone, you should feel a sense of nervousness a little bit, and be able to recognize when you don't know something, just say you don't know. But that's actually probably one of the hardest things to do as a teacher, especially when you get on a roll, say, I don't know.
Yeah, I
what
don't
mean?
know. Yeah, I
Silly,
don't know.
but, and then
Holla
all
at
the
such
big
and such.
head. We all get a big head because, when you want to win a team, you can get a big head, but sometimes
Yeah.
you
You get in the zone sometimes. You be in the zone, be like, nah, I got it. Y'all can sit on the side, I got it.
Indeed. You know what I'm saying? So, so from doing that, we're doing a lot of art on Tamaray. All praises due to the master.
What kind of art? What you mean? When you said art, you was doing the drawing. What do you like? What you was doing?
The sculptures, the pyramids. I just did the final part. You got a lot of brothers and sisters who were helping out, and you have some master builders up there. Someone who don't get recognition for what they were doing because when the artists come behind and put it, you get it prettied up.
Yeah, you do the cosmetics on it, but other people put the mud and the brick, and they was in the knee deep in the.
Yeah, it was a lot of back-breaking work. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real.
So I just came behind and gave it some pretty on there. From there, this has been rocking with the master forever, man. Forever and a day.
Yeah, when did you come in though? Hold up, this is an accident. When did you come in to start studying with the master?
90. I moved in the community in 91 in Spring Valley.
Okay, Spring Valley. Okay.
Yeah, Spring Valley crew.
That was the Get Money crew. I ain't even gonna talk about that.
I want to say by all means necessary. You know what I mean?
We ain't gotta say it, but we from New York.
Zip my lips up, to protect the guilty. But
I met a brother from Spring Valley. He had Elohim and diamonds on his front. He was just back in the Shalom day. He like Shalom. I'm like Shalom. I'm like, yo, what that say? He's like, this. I said, oh my God. I said, where you from? Spring Valley, bro. We getting it.
Spring Valley, we trying to get it, man. You know what I mean? It's a good old day, Spring Valley. From there went down to Atlanta when the master changed the young disciples from Brooklyn to Atlanta. I was down there. Then I moved on Tamaray in 93.
93.
Moved on Tamaray in 93. Yeah.
Oh wow! Nothing was up there.
Until them devils stole it.
Nothing was up there at that time.
No, it was just grass. Grass and deer, and but it was powerful. Because to see the master, work as an infant. I was a baby then. I'm young, and just to see it evolve and really being able to. Nobody knows Pops. That's number one. Anybody who say I know him or I know what he does or everything. You don't know him. You can't know him. But you can get inklings of him. You know what I mean, and inspiration from him and things like that. But it's just to see the way Pop's mind would work was amazing. You know what I mean?
Like what? Like when you give it, you got an example of like the process? Because I know like. I say things like, okay, like we had the situation where we got the brothers, right? You see the brothers I had in the interviews, right? And I'm thinking about while I'm going through the interviews with the brothers, I'm thinking about the old interview with Baba and Jezza Abba, and he's saying, people always want to usurp the throne. Why don't they just share? Why you got to try to usurp? And I say, yo, wow, God is talking to dudes 40 years ago. Like it's happening right then, but we thinking it's just for the clap. He's talking about what's happening now. Yo, look at these, like y'all. He's talking to them, laughing like, yo, you ain't gonna try. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of that comes from people think they know where Pop's going. You know what I mean? They try to think they read him. You know what I mean? So when we make changes, it throw people off because they thought they predicted which way he was gonna go. Pop always said, you can't predict what I can do, what I'm gonna do, because I can't even predict. I go where they tell me to do.
That's
what I mean?
Fact.
And he said the difference between us and him, when they tell him something, it's no question. It's like it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody expected us to move from Jazz Alba to Eatonton, but it was just like, yo, go there. You know what I mean? Go where? Go down there. All right. Move there. You know what I mean? They guide him, and he's always listening. He said, he's always taking that information. So we sometimes think we can understand the way the master is leading us, or which way he's going. But that's why he always said, just stay walking with me. Just walk with me.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that if I start speeding up, you know what I mean, you right there with me.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? If I make a left, if you're too far behind, you're not gonna see the left I made.
You ain't gonna see that. That's
Far
right.
ahead, you're not gonna see the left I made. If you stay right there with me, any turns and moves, whatever, you right there with me navigating. You ain't gonna lead us wrong. So
That's real.
but it's not even a case, sometimes it's just human nature. You know what I mean? Human nature of the disagreeable in us, and also the God in us. You know what I mean? That we all want, it's not just a Nawapian thing or a Saban thing. It's just a black thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in the melody.
A human thing.
That's true. That's true.
It was 10 other guys on Michael Jordan's team who wanted the ball when he was shooting.
That's
what I'm
real.
saying, no matter how good he was.
That's
so
right.
You always have that element of people who think they know more.
Who think they could do it
out front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people really didn't want that journey Pops was on.
Nah, that responsibility.
That's they can't understand. Like it wasn't fun. He used to say being who he is.
I think about that when he talked about his abductions as a child.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
I don't want the niggas to pop up on me now. You talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, don't hold down on me.
People get it confused.
That's real. That's real.
This wonderful life, and he, like he always said, I'm alone. I'm always alone, and the mission he's on is serious. That's why I said, whenever we teach, we should feel a certain sense of nervousness. That's real. Not being nervous, shaken, but a certain sense like, I got this person's life in my hand.
Absolutely.
We on the real mission. It's the real deal. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's the real deal. We play. We in. So but yeah, just being able to walk and see how the master operated. Never. You can never use the word can't. Something can never be done. You just couldn't say it can't get done. That wasn't
not part of vocabulary.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Wow. He didn't have a concept of it can't get done. You know what I mean? He didn't have a concept of being broke. I don't know, which one of us, and I ain't rich. I ain't trying to say it.
I was saying, but
looking down on anybody. I'm
everybody's
struggle trying to get there too. But Pops didn't have no concept of being broke. That didn't exist. Like
it doesn't exist.
You know what I mean?
But that's deep.
You ain't got it. That didn't exist.
You get it out of your mind, it can't exist in your life.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's what it's about. Yeah.
It was about that. If it could get attained, it was.
We should have it.
That's all it was. You know what I mean?
We should have it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just amazing. You know what I mean? And Pops would talk about everybody has their own personal confirmations with them. You know what I mean? And the journey is to experience your own personal confirmation that nobody can take away for who and what he is. You know what I mean? That becomes special to that individual. And no matter how many tell people, they can't, even now people will say something to me. I'll be like, you really had that dream you said you had, or that real, but I let them have it because that's their personal confirmation.
That's their personal stuff.
I mean? And Pops had that with, with multiple people. Like, everybody can tell stories about that. But just the mind that we saw with Pops, and sometimes it's become so normal that now we take that for granted. Like we look for miracles. Like, you hear in the Bible the miracles Jesus performed and the miracles these people perform, and we bypass sometimes the miracle of the master. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The mere fact that after close to 40-something years, there is no person, no organization, no group, no nothing that has set up a question and answer class. You know what I mean? So now we take it for granted. Everywhere where we go, we get a question and answer class. Come ask me questions. Because I got the answer. But that is unique in history itself. That a man would come along and say, yo, I'm an extraterrestrial. I'm an angel. I have the answers to the world's problem. There comes question. You know what I mean? We sometimes forget that, when all these people get out and talking and all this stuff, yada, 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 and they forget that what Pop stood on. Like, yo, he came in the belly of the beast. Like, yo, I am who I am. Come ask me questions. You know what I mean? And when he was rocking all these teachers of these teachers, nobody wanted to mess with him.
That's right.
You know what I mean? People get that. Like now, I can't. This is something we can't answer. But nobody wanted to rock with him when he said that. You know what I mean? None of them wanted to come to Bushwick and answer those questions.
They would send missiles. They would send little drones and people
they
would come up there.
They would throw pebbles.
Yeah, and they get smacked down.
They would throw pebbles. You know what I mean? It was like trying to a gnat messing with a giant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's real.
But
Bob is amazing, man. Like,
I don't want to give the bums no, don't give them no airplay, man.
Huh?
I don't give them no airplay. You know what I mean? Because one thing, I tell people this in class all the time. Because I used to argue with people online all the time. Literally, when I first got on Facebook, I was like, "Oh wow, all these people saying this." Like, it was like, well, for real, it was like, "Yo, you mentioned Nawapian, you mentioned
they
Bob,
on you.
On it was
rock bottom. They on you.
Twitter fingers. I wasn't on Twitter then, but I had them, the Facebook fingers, whatever you want to call it. And one time, Pop sent me a message from lockdown. I don't know how he knew, but he sent me a message. He said, "Yo, why you debating cats online?" He said, "A black devil is only supposed to do what a black devil is supposed to do." He said, "So why you mad? Stop debating cats." And I started realizing, if you go to the 24 Elders Scroll Part 2, right? And the master explained, he said, "You don't let me go to it." He said, "You don't avoid foolish controversies and argument with those who have fallen back to sleep, as they are dead. Waste not one moment with their arguments. Avoid quarrels about who is who. Time will tell Sadak truth from half truth and outright Kazabet lies. For if they lost their Ba'u souls, then whom and what are you talking to?"
Oh, that's right.
You talking to a person who lost their soul. It's just like me going outside and arguing with this dog about right knowledge. It makes no sense whatsoever to argue about someone who has no soul about who is right and wrong. And one thing we sometimes get confused is these soulless individuals will say something and have us try to prove if it's right or wrong. We defending ourselves to a soulless individual. You follow what I'm saying? That's
Absolutely.
Like a dog barking, and I go out and arguing with a barking dog.
Facts.
About the tenets of Wu Nawab.
Yeah.
The dog is barking at me, or the snake hissing at me, or the squirrel throwing nuts at me, and I'm trying to tell this squirrel that
trying to convince him
real life for them.
Stop barking at me. Say rattle back.
Gonna actually stop barking and listening to me. And it's our right knowledge. So us debating some of these fools is ignorant on our behalf. And like what people say, you don't argue with a fool because from people from a distance can't tell who is who.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So our job is to find those who want right knowledge, who want the answers, and deal with those individuals.
I'm gonna tell you that's one of the reasons, God, why you never see me on so I never been calling me on that platform for years, but I've never been on there to debate anybody because I was like, that's not why I'm here. Only reason why to use the platform is to put an opposing statement and argument for the souls that's listening to the slanderers.
Indeed.
So that they can have another thing to weigh it on, and then I move on to the other platform. We come back over here and be like, "Yo, if y'all want the truth, go here, go here, go here." You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's why
Captain gonna bring those who want to come around. Like Pop said, this is a remembering tool, and his voice is what triggers those DNA explosions. So the doctrine is what's gonna wake people up, and people realizing who and what they are. And that it happened to all of us. It'll happen to others. You know what I mean? Because this slander been going on for years. Like I said, I remember in New York when I first got in, I ain't know, a Sunni from an Ansar. Really, I just was into the doctrine. And I remember Sunnis back then, slandering and stuff. I'm like, I thought you was down with this. And talking crap way back then, and everybody talking crap, but it was that information that kept people going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Other than that, man.
So are you because you've been around for some years, can you give us definitely some lessons that the God gave you that got you through, that help you, like you already have, because you being part of the triad also, that's direct, that's direct information, direct contact, direct circulation. Like how did God run those circles in order to keep everybody in, like as far as like study habits, as far as like note taking, as far as like, because all that stuff isn't, as far as for retention, things of that nature, so I be thinking about all that. I be like, damn, because it's a lot of information. And then God, he just
quite frankly, the master didn't really give any direction, so to speak, as far as how to study, unless you ask him a personal question about it, how to study, how to retain information. You retain information by regurgitating it, keep talking it. I mean, that's why Ansars was so swift. They was always on the street talking it. You know what I mean? So you remember it, and you come back to your brother, and you going over stories and stuff like that. So when I first got in the triad, well, for one, let me get back. How Pops would teach the triad, though, a lot of times he would ask us what questions we had. You know what I'm saying? Now there was another brother who used to proofread, and Pops would have him proofread because he wanted to get it. He Pops like he's a skeptic. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
Proofreading, he said, so I want to see what a skeptic would say when he read my books. You know what I mean? So to be able to explain.
That's crazy.
From us, he wanted to get like, okay, what are people asking y'all that you all can't answer? Then I'll come back and get out information for that. So when I got into the triad, I went to the three brothers, and I was basically like, give me your technique, because everybody has a different technique for learning information. You follow? And they would give me their techniques, and then I would reform my own. And so I always tell people now, like when they say, how do you keep retaining information, and how do you get to a level of being an okay teacher? And I always tell people the first thing to do is concentrate on what you're most interested in, because what you're most interested in, you're going to retain, and then take that a step further. You follow what I'm saying? So if you're a language person, you get deep into the language, and then you take this week, you might take, say, the words for extraterrestrials, and list all the extraterrestrials, and then add information for each one of those extraterrestrials that you could build on later. So you go from saying the Adamu, you know what I mean, explaining what the Adamu is, and then tied it into the Bible and such, you know what I mean, or Adamu, you know what I mean, and that's the trans people. So you add the information on to what you know it to be what
you already got,
most powerful thing. So I always say, just take whatever is most interesting to you, because you're going to give that the most time, and it's fun. It becomes fun. Like it's part of doctrine, like I never really stuck to, because it just didn't interest me.
Yeah, that wasn't your thing.
What really, really interests you, and get strong on that. Don't worry about mastering all the books, because you can't do it. Get strong on what you know, and then later on, as you start teaching, you'll be able to tie in what you know to just about any question that's asked to you. For the most part, you'll be able to tie it in and teach people, and then you get questions from what they teach, what you're saying. You know what I mean? And that's when a good teacher, when you can build and people ask you questions on what you told. You know what I mean? As well as you always want. Pops did one thing with all of us when he would teach, he would always leave us with something we'd never heard before.
He do that. He leave you with a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so that you always was able to go home and say, "Oh, like somebody missed class, like, yo, your mom said such and such." Or only said, "Yo, I was on land." Pop said, "Boom, boom." You know what I mean? All of us. So that's a lesson when you teach, to say something that no one's never heard before. You know what I mean? And so there was just little tidbits, but it was more like, I got tricked into the triad, to be quite frank. I was never planning on teaching. Like Pop used to be like, "We're gonna be Atlanta teachers." I was like, except for me, I'm I'm an artist. I'm doing t-shirts. I'm doing the art. I got the art. You know what I mean? To it. Mental Hotep and them tricked me into teaching. But crazy. It was a beautiful thing. I guess it was in my in my chart of alignments. You know what I'm saying? But
no, it's good. It's excellent. It's a few things. One, like when you talk about that, like the technique, like when we was doing propagating in the HTM days, we used to go out. Like my joint was like the Jesus, who was Jesus sent to? Who was Jesus' father? Resurrection. Like I'm destroying those. Like right. Yeah. Other brothers and sisters was the God joint. You know what I mean? And what we would do, we would go out, like you said, and then when somebody come and ask a question about what we knew the other people were strong in, I would send them over. Let me send you to the sister. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna take care of you, and then they'd be able to unpack on that thing. You know, it's like that. You know, yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And damn man. And then another thing that what you said popped out is one of the reasons why it took me so long even to do this type of situation, right? Is because I don't play. I'm not playing with people's souls. Indeed. Because of how serious it is. You know, and I'm looking at for years. I'm like, how these crazy niggas are jumping out there talking to people like this? When you saying stuff that people are changing their life and building their life around, you know, and you okay with it? I'm like, nah, I'm not okay with none of that. I'll be like, nah.
It's serious game. You know what I mean?
Serious business.
You know, and that's why I said, you know, the greatest lesson I ever learned as a teacher was the ability to say no. And when you get out there rocking, you'll see how hard that is sometimes. Somebody, you know, you running, you might be in your groove and somebody asks a question and you gotta be like, I don't know. That's probably the hardest thing, but it's the greatest attribute of a teacher. You know what I mean? To be honest. You know, because it's also your test. You know, you being up in front of people is a test just like anything else. You know what I mean? Can you, you know, subdue your passions and your ego, you know, to help someone. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Well, another reason I had to come out though, because I've also seen how many souls will be beguiled and tricked because brothers and sisters that did know better didn't say anything to give them something to weigh it against. You know. So it was like, okay, well, if I could put something out there that's going to lead people back to at least do some studying or some questioning, then, you know, that'll add on, that'll help, you know. That's really,
you know, it's our obligation, you know, all of our obligations, you know, to do whatever we can to and darken people and, you know, and set the record straight. You know what I'm saying? It's part of our obligation, you know, as family, as well as we have all the tools we need. You know, we have all the tools, you know, the master, you know, he's given us all the tools on how to save ourselves by saving him or freeing him. Because he's already saved. He's already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can walk out anytime he wants. To be clear. That's not even a question. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He already said they came to get him. But can we do it past our great
test?
That's
the test. That's us.
You know what I mean? The great test. You know,
I agree.
You know,
I agree 1,000%.
And I remember years ago we were saying, you know, the chant to free Yanoon, and he came back like, hold up, change that. You know what I mean? Because y'all ain't got that Yanoon trap. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Skin suit trap. But
that's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So switch it around. But yeah, you know, it's all our tests. You know, and we got all the attributes. You know what I mean? To make this happen. It's just sometimes we all get fearful. You know what I mean? Fearful of stepping out front. And making matter move, you know, that's you know one of the things we all have to take into account.
That's right.
You know
No fear. That's right.
Be asked, you know, what did you do? You know, during this 20-year plus, what did you do to free me, or to help free me, or darken other individuals about our way of life? You know, did you pull a Paul? I mean, you know, excuse me, not Paul, but Peter, and back away, or did you step out front? You know, and you know, take the bullet, so to speak. You know what I mean?
You holding the line, God.
Yeah, hold it down.
We holding the line, because there's nowhere to go after. There's nowhere to go. You know, people. I'm making a joke. I say everybody want the truth till they knock on the door. When the truth knock on the door, you be like, I ain't know it was gonna be all that. Like, nah, this is what it is. Let's go. And I'm like, I'd be like, I want to smoke. Let's go. I wanted to smoke when I was in them streets. I wanted all the smoke, right?
Yeah, I want the smoke. I want the barbecue. I want everything. You know
I want it finger licking good. Let's go.
You know,
wherever it go, I'm walking with the master. Eat the truth. You know what I'm saying? And if I gotta put, you know, if they got to character assassinate me, they got to go through all that. he going through it, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, you can see
Could be-
in 20 years ain't nothing been built.
Nothing from nobody.
Nobody built
Everybody
nothing.
talking, want him on the side. Nobody did nothing.
You know what I mean? Nobody, nothing been built. And actually, if you go to Egypt, you really get an idea why Pops was having us build it. You know, Egypt is dead. You're not.
Oh no, they got they like project buildings in the hood, crack pipes and bottles and graffiti because they don't care about those buildings. It's not theirs.
You know,
what I'm saying?
Somebody asked a question. What constructive endeavors I think the tribe should focus on to better the tribe and help with Baba's freedom? Well, I can't speak for the tribe as a whole, but what I will say is, if you remember back in the end of the Holy Tablets when it said that, you know, different people touched different parts of the master and they were granted different abilities or skills or
that's right,
you know, blessings. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And if each one of us looks at within ourselves, right, and figure out what that blessing or that touching or that, you know, what we have to offer, right, and build a plan around that. You know what I mean? And that includes the tribe, or it might be you might have an idea with one other person or 2 or 3 other people. You know what I mean? And build whatever you have. If you're a plumber, say, okay, I want to build a company that can employ other Sabans.
That's right.
As simple as that. You follow what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a tribe-wide thing. You know, a lot of times, you know, I talk to brothers and sisters down here. My thing is, like, look, sometimes we're looking for everybody in the tribe to agree with our endeavor. You know what I mean? I want to have a restaurant, but I need 100 Sabans to support me. No, you don't.
Yeah. I know you don't.
You know what I mean? Just like, you know, you stepped out here with the show. You know what I mean? People have been having shows on YouTube for years. That's true. Finally you stepped out and was like, yo, let's have a show. And it's going to grow. It's going to grow and it's going to grow. So each person has to look at what they can do themselves and then grab one other person. And if it's positive, step forward, then continue to do it. And just do. Don't wait. Just do. As long as it's not stepping on our ethics as a tribe, you know what I mean? As long as it's not stepping on anything that the master might have revealed we shouldn't do or shouldn't say. And if it's in the spirit of love and unity and progress, then jump on it. You know what I mean? And if you don't have anything that you can think of, talk to another Saban like, yo, what you got, bro? What you got, sis?
That's right. Get a part of something else.
What would y'all like me to help and assist with what you all is doing? Because a nation needs everything. A nation needs, like years ago, in one of the classes, you know, Pops is building Tamaray and boom, you know, he's going through a whole thing and everybody's all, you know, they loving it. And Pops said, okay, so who gonna make the toilet paper? And everybody got quiet.
So we need toilet paper?
Like, who gonna make toilet paper? We got a nation of our own that's self-sustaining. Somebody gotta be making toilet paper.
That's right.
You know
toilet paper, toothpaste. We gotta make all the stuff. That's right.
Toilet paper, you know.
That's right.
You know, unfortunately, I can't remember his name. I apologize for that. But it's a brother who makes him and his family who are doing toilet paper. You know what I mean? Bamboo toilet paper.
Oh yeah, the bamboo. The brothers over there, Jersey was
indeed.
Yeah.
And
we don't realize or something like that.
Yes, indeed. So you know, let's find a niche. You know, just go down and listen, find a niche and what you can help with locally, what you can help with worldwide, what you can help with in your household, you know, and
that's
just
right.
build from
Add
there.
on.
You know what I mean? And one thing the master did say, a tidbit about business, and it's a funny story because I'm not sure if anybody knows the restaurant Zaxby's. They got a restaurant down in Zaxby's, sell chicken fingers. So Pops, and 2 other brothers in Zaxby's. I never been in there in my life yet. Brother put us on to it. And I'm like, my Lord, these are the best chicken fingers I've ever had in my life.
They put crack in the oil.
I miss parties, and I'll keep myself all the time. So we in the restaurant, right? And it was always customary when Pop started building, you stop eating. You know what I mean? Out of respect. Like, you're not, if Pop building and eating, you continue on. If Pop sit back and he start building, it's like, yo, you gotta chill. So I took a little bit, and I'm like, man. You know, usually Pop start building, it's like, I'm like, yo, dang, all right, Pops, all right, get back to
You gotta get back to these chicken fingers.
Anyway, what the master was explaining, it was deep too. It was deep when you really apply it and think about it. He said that whatever pays your bills, whatever take care of you and your family, is literally your sustainer. That's your ride.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, so whatever pays your bills, you have to give back to that.
That's right.
He said, I put out books. That's my sustainer.
That's right.
He said, so I buy books and give them out. He said, I don't read all these books. He said, I buy books and just give them to people as a way of giving back to that which gives me. He said, I know everything about books. I said, I know the paper. I know all the different fonts. I know the type of glue, the type of binding, the type of, cover. You can have paper cover, leather bound cover, anything. He said, I know every single detail about books. And he says it's imperative because that's my sustainer. And a way of me giving back is to be extremely knowledgeable about what is giving to me.
That's right.
So you can't take a shortcut in whatever you're doing and just say, okay, I'm gonna do that. You got to get involved in it and know everything about it. And I buy t-shirts from people, you know what I mean? Just buying t-shirts. I just buy t-shirts from people. You know what I mean? Other small companies. I'm a small business owner. I'm just gonna support other small business owners.
That's right.
That's right. Because that's what supports me.
That's right.
When you get into the real deep into it, it's very important that you realize that it's a reciprocal.
Yeah, you put the energy out. You keep the energy going. That's right.
That's karma. What you give out comes
that's right.
back
That's
to you.
a fact.
So if you want to be successful, you have to, give that love and adoration and respect to that which will sustain you. Anything it is, and you'll get it back. You know what I mean?
That's
real. Just so you're gonna go through the pain and trials and tribulations while you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yo, y'all heard that? That's a heavy jewel. Heavy jewel. Wow,
Indeed.
wow. That's fire, bro. Look, again, you see the God Emotep on deck. Listen, I be knowing some people. Don't blow it up. Don't blow it up.
As a matter of fact, you never finished that chicken either.
You never finished the chicken.
You got finished and said, "Yo, that's the nastiest chicken I ever had in my life." And we got up and left. And I was like, "Man, you know what I mean?" Yeah,
you was like this, you felt the total.
Why you bring us here? You know what I mean? And to get back to that, because Pops used to later on in life, Pops sometimes would take people out to try stuff because he said all in Brooklyn he was fasting. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, through the Islamic situation, he didn't touch nothing.
When we got older, you know what I mean? Sometimes Pops would just, like, let's go here to check this out. Let's go here. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like he'll say, but again, the difference between me and y'all, he said, I'll take y'all out and we might go to all you can eat spot. And he said, later tonight, y'all niggas gonna go get another sandwich. He said, I'm gonna go eat drink some miso soup and fast for a few days. You know what I mean? To get this out my system.
This stuff out my system.
So that's a little tidbit. Pops is exactly. Man, Pops is real.
Oh, that's
the other thing. Your Pops is real. Is most time we spend a lot of time laughing, joking. Pops is a mad jokester and love to laugh. Watch comedies all the time. All he did was watch comedies to laugh. Laugh.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? He was always showing us comedies and in between a few other things, but lectures and comedies, lectures.
Yeah.
But it was always about laughing and enjoying yourself despite everything that's going on around.
Listen, you got to decompress. I stay on the comedies because everything that's going on, I'll be like, let me go look at that. Yeah, to break all the tension, break all that energy down. Absolutely. Let me ask you this though.
What's up?
You been around traveling. You had an experience. Have you ever had one of those? It's 100 million stories with the God. Shape-shifting, levitating, transmutating, peppermints through the glass. I'm going, have you ever had? I've heard people, I'm talking to him. I run down the hallway. I see him run across the yard out the window. I look down. He's standing behind me. I'm like, what that?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like,
me personally, I never had my personal experience was always Pop was personal stuff. Like, he would tell me something that, like that, like, stuff like that.
Yeah. Got you.
Things like that. me and Pop's connection was that like that.
I love that.
So
I love
everybody
that.
had different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sisters you see a lot. Sometimes Pops would be around us like boom, boom, boom. Like you be in and out. You know what I mean?
But he's around them a lot. Yeah.
Him a lot. So he would, they would see a lot. But Pops used to talk to us sometimes about those experiences. Like one time we was asking God, about the experience of beings coming through him. You know what I mean? And he said it would be like missing time in his life. He's like, he said,
I heard that.
The closest he can liken it to, and I'm paraphrasing, remembering the conversation, was like, if you get up and go get a drink of water, and next it's 3 hours later, and you're in the office, and he done dictated 2 or 3 books, you know what I mean, or reading something, or somebody said he would be out of whack with time, he'd be stumbling or falling, because someone came through and kind of threw his equilibrium off, you know what I mean?
And they merciless. They don't give. They merciless.
They didn't care. They didn't care at all.
They don't care what you doing. Yeah, all right, niggas. It's time. Let's go.
Wow,
man.
But the sisters would always, my mate, one day she might come rock them in. She was always talking about experiences, with the master changing, and you know what I mean. Like one time she said, he was building. He had a sister who used to be tight, Pop. I'm he was going off, and the sister was sick or something, wasn't in the office that day, and there was another sister typing, and Pop would dictate to her, and she couldn't keep up, and Pop was just like, let's get out the way, and as she got out the way, Pop just started building, and the typewriter just kept going, typewriter typing on his own, you know what I mean, stuff like that, like
yeah.
It was like, Pops was always, it was always a story you hear,
always a story
like that. Like,
nah, that's real.
Pops is always, there's always something like that. It was always something different with Pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't personally experience that. Mine is other stuff that if I told y'all wouldn't even believe me. I'd just be like, they're making it up.
Oh no. We don't do that, God. Don't do that. Don't. We want all the smoke. We do this.
That's the next bill. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying
because you know what I mean. I like to stick with people on. I know everybody loves to, because I love that. I'm an extraterrestrial nut.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on.
You know what I mean? But my thing, which I always try to explain, I try to convey when I teach class a lot, is how real Pops was, and also the level of building and the changes he's been taking us through. On, like, some people look at that as, since we've done it so much,
they think it's confused, and that we don't have no foundation.
If you really look at all the things Pops has took us through in the building and the changes in the languages, things like that, that right there is a miracle that often gets diluted. You know what I mean? Like somebody told me when I talked to a dude and he said, Dr. York made that language up. I told him, thank you. And he said, what are you thanking me for? I said, that's the greatest compliment you can give, that a man made a language up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we take it the other way. We got to prove it.
We get offended by it.
And telling a Chinese man that Mandarin is fake.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna argue with you? Nah, they're gonna curse you out in Chinese or Mandarin.
In Chinese, right? Like, and keep it pushing. Go ahead. That's right.
Same thing if you go to a Jew and say you don't speak Hebrew, you speak Yiddish. They're gonna say, they probably curse you out in Yiddish. You don't know. You don't know either one of them.
I would say that too. I would say, does it make him less or more divine?
No,
that he made it up.
The answer is to answer the person in Muspatia.
Tour.
You follow what I'm saying?
Sure.
Us living our culture and speaking our language is confirmation enough.
It confirms everything.
You follow what I'm saying? So all these things, like, we arguing with people about whether the language is correct or incorrect. And in doing so, we miss the blessing of the language. You follow what I'm saying? Because if I came to you tomorrow and said, yo, your birth certificate wrong, you gonna argue with me on it? If I said, yo, what school you went to in high school? Or what kindergarten you went to?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
said,
yeah.
I went to Normandy Park. No, you didn't. Are you gonna argue with me? You're gonna be like, you're a fool. Because
That's
you
right.
know
That's
that to be true. You follow what I'm
That's right.
saying? Truth cannot be changed. It is what it is. So
That's right.
again, arguing with a fool over truth makes one a fool. Because it's like, yo, it's truth, man. It's the truth.
There is no argument. I mean, I
There
do
is
that
no
with the
argument for it.
believers, with the you know, it killed me because the Muslim, Christians, and Jews, right? Their approach is from the point of view of a believer, and so I'd be like, well, what sense it make me as a knower, to argue with a believer? Your whole come from is you do not know. You're a believer. You're saying I don't know. I believe and have faith. I'm telling you, I know I don't have faith and don't believe, and then you want to argue with me. There is no argument. You don't know anything. I'm telling you what I know. That's
it's not. It just is what it is.
That is what it is.
And it's a quote that people use a lot, and Pops uses it too. But there was a second part to it. I'm speak on what Pops said one time, because a lot of times in the scrolls and Pops building, he's always saying, "Don't believe me, check it out," right? And what Pops said to add on to "Don't believe me, check it out" is that until you keep confirming everything I say is right, he said, because I want to take you all to a level where it cannot be confirmed.
That's right.
So if we keep going back to, I gotta check him out, then we have to admit we haven't gotten there yet. You know what I mean? Like Pop said, he says two people out there he always dealing with. He said it with a bit of frustration. Like they got one group, they say, well, Baba, you say who you say you are, prove it to me. He say, okay, I'm gonna tell you something, go check it out. Right? Then there's another group that's gonna say, well, Baba, if you say who you say you are, then tell me something new that I can't find anywhere else. And then he'll tell them something new they can't find anywhere else. Then what will happen is the first group will then come back and say, well, Doc, you stole that from this person because I found it over here.
But I told you to go find it.
Well, Doc, I can't find that anywhere, so you made it up. The Pops is like, what y'all want from me? You want me to give you something to verify? I do that for you. Then I say, okay, let me take you to another level where nobody can follow me. You say I made it up. You follow what I'm saying? So it's like, again, you know, and I don't want to keep latching on this, but forget all the naysayers, because Pop's trying to take it. We're years behind. We're literally like the books we're reading now. I was doing artwork for 7-8 years ago.
Yes, that's a fact.
You know, we years behind. Like we supposed to have been learn the language. We supposed to know it by now.
Facts.
You know, we should be proficient in it. You know what I mean? This doctrine we going through now, you know, we still in, you know, we're still in trying to prove who and what we are. Like Pop said years ago, you know, stories of who and what you are and where you came from. That's baby knowledge. I'm trying to teach you how to get up out of here.
Just go, right?
How to make that journey to the next realm. You know, the real sciences. You know what I mean? We still stuck on trying to talk about the Adamites and the spell and being under the spell and things like that. When Pops is like, yo, you know what I mean?
You ain't ready to go yet?
Go back to read the book. I think it's which one? I forgot which one, but the end of it says, you beings are caught in a matrix of controlled by beings who meaning to be God. You follow what I'm saying? They got y'all caught up in a whirlwind. You got to break free from their matrix. You follow what I'm saying? And that's what Pops can break us out of this. You know, You know, we got demons in hell trying to keep us down here.
That's fact.
You know what I mean? It's about getting up out of hell. And getting up out of hell, you can't keep playing with demons.
That's right.
I mean, we got to get ourselves on another vibrational level, another wavelength, and really get ready for a journey. For those who want to make the journey.
But that's why he said it's only a few. That's good because so much going on to distract you.
Fit in a Volkswagen.
Yo, but you know what? It's funny you say that because there's a lot of old timers that live according to the small car doctrine. Because Baba said that there's going to be enough to fit in a Volkswagen, and some brothers and sisters have been around for years. That's all they concerned about. Everybody else is just here to be used and abused because they ain't gonna make it anyway.
And I already got the hatchback seat already taken. So
yeah.
For the other seats, man.
And there's a nigga in the trunk. So
You know what I mean?
ain't no
I'm gonna
room
keep
for
my
you
shoes
anyway.
off, so I don't hit you in the face, but yo, I'm already there. You know, because you
Yeah.
really look at it from different schools and different years, you rarely find two people from one place that came in at the same time and went through the same journey. Everybody's different.
That's a
You
fact.
see what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, I came in with a group of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
only a certain group here. Now, if that group is here, it's not the same age. It's something different about different individuals. You see what I'm saying? So it's not
It's a lot of brothers that,
I said
and
South
that I know.
Pops in the past. He is around correct. Only reason I'm speaking about in the past because I'm speaking about older lessons. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. He doing flashbacks. You know,
we
from
on flashbacks, man.
he on a flashback
Oh,
of Irvin.
we on
Irvin is
flashbacks.
serious. Irvin's ready. Irvin got the sword of omens. He ready to go with.
Oh man,
That's the good brother. He a good brother, man.
well, you know.
Yeah. But
Sometimes we got we just ask the question, like, you know what I mean?
oh yeah, but you know we extra. You know we extra.
Oh yeah, shit, you know.
We extra terror astral. So you know everything else. We extra. We be going above and beyond for nothing. If we did that in for Bible's freedom and with the doctrine and studying and applying it to our life, we be on a whole other wavelength. You know what I'm saying? But we be on some crucifying some brother. Oh, he said he didn't say Come on, why would you say instead of God?
Nah,
like, come on, man.
You know
With all that.
We gonna keep it moving, man.
Now, absolutely. So talk to me about about Nubia.
Nubia.
Yeah, Nubia. That's right, Nubia Power. What's the site? So I'm gonna put it in the chat room too. Talk about Nubia because you a sculptor by trade.
Excuse me?
Right? You a sculptor. You know.
Yo, you know, it's a funny story. This, I never picked up a tool until Pop told me to do it.
Really?
Yeah. I never. I was doing I learned doing printing T-shirts in the community. I always drew. I learned how to print T-shirts in the community, and that's actually how I moved up on Tamaray because, Pop's like, yo, we can do shirts, we can do all this. Boom. All right, yo, come on up, young blood, and even in that, growing through the many lessons in that, learning it, and I was doing T-shirts, and if you know anything about being around, the community around Pops. Sometimes it gets slow, whatever. You fit in when you get in. So sometimes I'll be on the work crew, sometimes doing T-shirts. And at the time we were building Imhotep's temple. And I was doing, Pops told me to do some plaster molding, learn how to do plaster. And I was doing that. And I remember one time I got some stuff from UPS. They used to come through. And Pops he was excited. I happened to get it. So we in his office. And he taking it off, and he like, yo, we're gonna use these. We're gonna be making molds of these for the windows and side. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, that's what's up. I'm like, damn, I don't know who's gonna do that. I'm about to go do T-shirts again. I'm the T-shirt man. And lo and behold, after Savers Week, I didn't go back to do T-shirts. It was like, so I said, you know what? Let me try my hand at carving something. And I told Pops, and people will attest. Sometimes we all get tests. There's more to the story, but we all get tests sometimes from Pops. And when you pass it, Pops just had his smile. Like, yo, you got it. And I started, I was like, I haven't tried out. He was like, yo, without saying it, he's like, yo, you got it. And I started doing sculpture. And what Pops would do was he would keep giving me harder and harder projects. You follow what I'm saying? And each project would test me. You know what I mean? Because I'd learn more, get more involved in it. And once I kind of got it, that's when he gave me the name Imhotep. You know what I mean? But prior to that, I had no idea, no inclination of whatsoever to carve a piece of plastic. At all. But it was something Pop saw. You follow what I'm saying? And honestly, because I had to pass a test. Now I'm doing molds. And the brother who taught me didn't give me all the information. And Pops gave me a project to do. And I couldn't do it. And I had to tell Pops, like, you got the stuff to do. I'm like, nah, I ain't got it, Pop. He took it back. It was a small sculpture. He took it back. And I said, nah, Pops, I got it. He said, nah. I begged Pop 3 times. And they finally said, all right, go ahead, do it. And I did it. And that started the journey on. I had to literally beg Pops like 3 times, like, Pops.
Yeah. Let me do it. I got it. Yeah.
Do it. Trust me. I can do it. And I went and did it and broke it. I messed it up. And I hid for 2 days. I hid from Pops for 2 days, literally. I hid from Pops for 2 days in the t-shirt shop.
That's
figuring
crazy.
out how to do it.
How to do it, yeah.
Fun. And after that, I never did t-shirts again. It was like, you want to know another mission. But little did I know at the time, then none of us knew that Pops was about to build Egypt. We was still doing, like I said, we did Imhotep Simple, but none of us did Egypt. You know what I mean? We had no idea about doing Egypt whatsoever. He had mentioned it one time in like 94, like, yeah, wait till you see pyramids out here one day. To one of the brothers, it was like, pyramids. You know, all we see is grass. But then right after the ball, Pops, he used to go to DC, not DC, Florida a lot to visit Disney World. And he was, like, yo, they used to have like Egyptian World, Morocco World, everything out there.
That's right.
And Pops actually had the people who built Disney World come to Tamaray. That's how it started. That's how Egypt started. Pops was like, y'all niggas can't build. We gonna get some professionals out here. And of course, we all a little like, man, we just built the temple. We think we, So they come out there. A couple white dudes come out. I think matter of fact, might have been 1 or 2, but they come out there. They would assist. They take them around, and they was like, all right, we'll get back. So they got a blueprint. They had a blueprint for Egyptian village, much different than it is now. It was. They had the blueprint for the Egyptian village, and Pops called the brothers down, and we looking at it. It was like $3.5 million, and Pops was like, "Yo, can y'all do it?" And we was all like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, let's go," and that's how it started. And at the time, we didn't know nothing about building no Egypt, but we was building.
Yeah.
And then it was a brother. The hardest working brother I ever met in my life, brother Mel Sanders. He built pools, and he had the last key to the material we needed. He was there one day, and he heard Pops building. He was like, "Yo, I know what we can use." And from there, it was on and popping, like Egypt. But prior to that, we didn't know nothing about pylons and all that stuff. I thought I was gonna do t-shirts again, like I said. You know what I mean? Little did I know, Pop was preparing not just me, myself, but all the brothers, and sisters, because they played a huge role in it as well.
Absolutely.
For building, Tamaray, what we,
Yeah, man, a blessing. I was on Tamaray when the stage was up, and it was just tense. It was just tense, man.
But somebody said the past is good. However, how do you get Pops out? Well, for one, it's not a you, it's a we, and that's no offense to you. But I get asked that a lot, and I can only quote what the master said at the ball a few years ago. He said, "If you learn a language, you'll free me." So
that's real. That's real.
I mean, there are people doing other stuff, groundwork, people in Africa. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff Pop said, "Yeah, I don't want to know. I want people to know, because people do the gypsy switch and they keep messing up. Do what y'all do." So it's people on the ground doing stuff, being orchestrated by the God himself. But Pop said, learn the language, y'all will free me.
Yeah, but that's because that language is a language of time, and it'll break through all the molds and all the different boundaries that they got us trapped in. We just was talking about our people being extra, and our people is like, "Yo, we the key to the cell." Like, nigga, if we had it, nigga, he'd be here. Like, relax.
Each one of us got to look at ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's where, again, I don't know a concrete answer. I can only quote the master on certain things. You know what I mean? If I had the key, he'd be out. I don't have the key. I can only say what he said: love and unity, and learn the language. You know what I mean? And so we have to ask ourselves: do I love my brother and sister well enough to master our language? Do I love them enough to master our language? Do I love my children enough to make sure they know this language? As Pop said, 90% of the spell won't work on a child who knows the language. You follow what I'm saying? So everybody wants to everybody wants the golden key. Like, how do we free Pops? Man, this is a fight. You know what I mean?
This
We got
mean
to
a war.
here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This ain't play.
That's
This
right.
don't disrespect to anybody. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's real. That's real.
I like to keep everything 100% real and funky. You know what I mean? All we can do is quote the master and try our best of what he says to get him out. You know what I mean? And sometimes people use that like, you know, and it's no disrespect to anybody because, you know, I don't know a lot of the names on here. I can only speak from the
Some of
heart.
these brothers is new. It don't matter.
You know, Pop said love and unity and learn the language of freedom. And he's giving instructions to other individuals who are dealing with lawyers and all that stuff for what they're dealing with. So as a student teacher or the master teacher, I can only say what I know to be true. And that's learn our language and, you know, take care of one another. You know what I mean? Do I love you enough to call you and see how you doing? Do I love you enough to make sure that, yo, you good? You know what I mean? Your family's straight. You know, do I love enough to do those small things that we sometimes neglect? You know what I mean? Do I love my brother or sister enough to pick up a phone? Like, yo, I might have had a beef with you, but yo, it's all love. You know,
checking in. That's right. That's
you
right.
Know what I mean, you know,
yeah.
All those small things that the masters have been speaking about for years and years and years. You know what I mean? Do I love enough to turn, you know, some of the negativity I might be taking off? I'm gonna turn that show off. It's negative. That's going towards freeing the master teacher. If I'm correcting myself, you know what I mean? And we all, that's the head. I'm the body. You know, do I love myself enough to get out and walk and we get one other person and we walk? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can get my health together. So that the master won't come out and, you know, he looking at me like, yo, dang.
Yo, what's up with you, nigga?
Yeah, but you know, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, everybody got a little piece of the puzzle. And that's my piece of the puzzle I try to tell everybody.
That's real. That's real because what I remember Bob was saying, what part do you play in the grand scheme?
Indeed.
You know, it's all about your part you play because, we all are divine beings, but are we accessing our divinity? You know what I'm saying? Not just because the God is who he is, he showed forth and proving that. Because I remember one time he said, y'all can't be me. He said, but hold up, I can't be you. Indeed. You know what I'm saying? You got something that you're doing, whatever your part you play, you have to do it. And it's a part of this grand plan. Indeed. And one of the reasons why he's still in there is each one of us is not playing the cog that we play in the machine, that we all are part of the body. And we got to play our position.
Yeah, and that's what I was speaking about earlier about, you know, in the Holy Tablets, and we all touch a part of him. And we have to recognize what we touch. And whatever we touch, or whatever part of the master that we touch, we have to integrate that into our lives and spread it to the next person. You know what I mean? Get somebody else involved in that. And you know, because we have the dance, we have the language, we have the doctrine, we have we have everything that makes ourselves a full, you know, autonomous group of beings. You know, it's just a matter of going out and doing it, you know, each one of us, and taking a personal account of ourselves. You know what I mean? You know,
that's right.
Ask each one of us, ask yourself every night and every morning when you wake up, what am I doing today to free our master teacher? And what am I doing today that when he's free, it will be comfortable and it will be progressive for him when he gets out? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not coming back to a bunch of infighting. You know what I mean? So if you got beef with somebody, you know what I mean, that's hindering the master from coming out. What if you need both of y'all to do a project and he like, damn, y'all beefing about, you know what I mean, this and that? Like, he can feel all those different things. You know what I mean? So it's just small things. Like, you know, like I ain't got the big answer. You know, I ain't got the big key. You know what I mean?
I was there.
Like I do. You know what I mean? But it's just about all the little things we can do to better ourselves and get prepared for the journey.
That's real. I mean?
For those who believe the journey is real.
Well, the journey, you're right. Because everybody, you know, they base things on their own comprehension.
So they're gonna ask you questions, and they ain't in English, and they ain't got no emotions. They have no emotions. So the stuttering, you know, when they pop that question, you know, they don't want to hear the stumbling. You know what I mean? That's master. They ain't got no emotions. The craft workers don't have that. They're gonna push you aside, you know, for the next person for them 3 questions. You know what I mean? So if it's real, if it's really real, and I don't know the language, I just started. I'm like, yo, I've got it myself. And Hotep, we gotta learn this. But if it's really real, we learn the language.
Now that's real because one of the brothers just started a language class. I've seen it on Telegram, and they breaking it. They starting off with the basics in 3 parts. One of the brothers from Philly, Dentut.
Yes,
from Philly. Yeah, he get busy with the language. That's his thing. And he just started a brand new language class on Telegram like yesterday. I missed it, but I went on Telegram and I screenshot all the different joints from it so I could go over in my notebook, me and the wife, and we could, you know, we could start this grind, you know. But I also have the flip cards. I got flip cards. I got like 6,000 of them of the words, you know. So it's about practicing and going over and over and over, you know. So
yeah, no doubt. But yo, my God, I gotta run real quick.
I know you gotta go, God. I appreciate you for coming through, showing us love, you know, and hopefully you come through another time. It's my fault. I was an hour late. My sound was jacked up. We'd have been up here sign language and all that. I had no sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my brother Mintu to come through too, man.
Oh man, don't you gonna put it out there like that? Go ahead, man. You know what I mean? To come out here, man. Listen, you welcome anytime, brother. Anytime, any of the family. Yeah. Like we be having a super site for Saturdays. I be trying to get all the great minds, as many that will show up, and you know, and everybody's welcome. I appreciate you. You know, God.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man.
What's the website for Nubia? NUWBIA.com. All right, Nubia.com. Y'all make sure y'all support the God, Nubia.com.
And appreciate everybody who's been supporting. Like we've been rocking for 11 years. You know what I mean? You don't stay in business that long without a lot of support. And
real right.
I can attest that a lot of people say, you know, family don't support. But if you put out a good product and good service and be kind to people and do business right, you know, family is support all day. You know support. That's facts. And we have a lot of family who support us, and we definitely appreciate it.
Well, y'all got the flyest things on the street. You know what I'm saying?
That's it's all inspired by God. You know, we think got the Nubia from. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know,
I mean, I love the African attire, but you know, I'm a part of the hip hop generation, so you know, this is where it's at.
Well, you see my roots, Spring Valley, so you know what we was on.
Yeah, I already know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I still got it in me. You know what I mean?
Now, listen, I appreciate it. I can wear these signs and symbols on the hat. I'm like, oh,
that's what's up.
Right, we going.
Yo, corner the Egyptian market.
That's what he said.
Egyptian market.
That's what he said. Y'all doing it. Y'all be flipping through. Y'all got 100,000 different items. Y'all be flipping through.
Yo, man, I got another 100,000 in the chamber.
Exactly. That's it. The creative force of life made flesh. Well, we appreciate you, brother Emotep, Nubia Power on deck. You know what I'm saying? One of the official soldiers of the God, one of the officials of Miles. Yo, again, thank you, God, for showing us love and stopping by and building with us. You know, family, go make sure y'all support the brother. You know, go through to his website. The apparel is what it is. I'm a distributor of the apparel. That's why you always see me with it, because me and my wife, when we go, you know, we got our spot, and when we run around doing what we do in festivals and all that, we got Nubia apparel on deck. So yeah, y'all support and y'all support natural nature herbs. All right, show the brothers some love, show the family some love. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't want to donate nothing to the brother and the sister, go cop something for yourself. All right. Get some tea. Get ready. We about to go through this winter. We got the new pumpkin pie sea moss that's popping. Y'all get on board with all that. All right. So next up, I'm a read some things, but let me do some invite. Anybody got anything that they want to put out there? Oh yeah. Definitely. Yo, hit me up, God. Hit me up on a messenger, Qatar Initiative. Hit me up on the messenger, the Facebook messenger, so I can make sure I got your info. Yeah, definitely. Where was that? Oh yeah. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any statement? Anything about the last things that was happening? I'm about to send these invites out to the other brothers to come through and build. Because I also want y'all to know this. Very important. I don't consider this a platform. in regards to like how other people talk about the platforms. No, this is a warning. This is like final call of the Mahdi type situation. We on the highest cliff screaming so it could be echoed throughout the world that time is up. This is Woody Harrelson in 2012 sitting in a Winnebago on the top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Eating pickles, paws, talking on a radio, on a pirate radio station, telling everybody what's happening. This what we doing. We looking to get our people aligned. You understand? That's what's happening with us. This ain't no game over here. We not playing over here, man. And I just want y'all to know, like, you know, this is about love and sacrifice of time and energy. Like the brother just said, when you dealing with the souls of the people, is no game. You know, there's no game when you're dealing with the souls of the people. You know, so yeah, I want y'all to yeah, well, what do, Khalil? What you doing to free him? Being that you talking like that. Like, come on, God. You acting up. It was like, what are you doing? Like, you, like, dude, like, come on, brother. Like, we sitting here, we having, what we not doing is having conflict, right? See, that's that 6 ether force. You know, so such and such and such is not freeing the master been for 20 years. How many doors and windows, phone calls, emails, whose doors you knocking on to change the reality of the master? Don't come up here like it's an emergency now. Oh, what y'all doing? To just how this gonna help? Nigga, how did what you do yesterday help? When you last time you looked at TV, talked smacks to some chick, went to a restaurant, how did that help? Nigga, every moment of your life ain't been about helping the master. Like, don't come up here with that foolishness. Please. Appreciate you. Like, come on, God. Like, we up here setting the tone for unified minds in order for us to pick up on a wavelength. So when we move, we make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about making things happen, God. But how are we gonna make things happen if we don't trust each other? And how are we gonna trust each other if we don't become sticky and know each other? That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. But it's and look, I'm not frustrated or nothing. I know it's always gonna be brothers and sisters. Let me tell you, I got a saying. I love my people, but I know my people. I know my people. Niggas sit there and talk smack. Think about it. Niggas talk smack to Jordan about playing ball. They talk smack to Biggie about rapping, Jay about rapping, Kanye about music. Niggas talk smack about Bible for writing book. Niggas talk smack. That's what they do. Guess what the God said? Baba Yanun said, they gonna talk about you whether you do what they want you to do or you don't do what they want you to do. So give them something to talk about. Steer the conversation. That's what you do. You know, you steer them in the direction you want them to go in. Like, it's okay. You got to talk, because guess what happens with the leaders? I said it before. I say it again. The leader, like the master, he's a leader. You can't see what's going on in front of him. All you can see is his back when you following him. See, that's the problem with most leaders in most organizations. Understand? The followers can only see the back of the leader. So they don't understand his movements. But Baba said, come up to the front with him. Walk with me. He said, walk with me. So when you see him make that move, like the God was saying, that zigzag, zig-a-law, we making the steps with him. So when Iverson cross niggas over, we cross right with him. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, knock on every door. Cool, I'm with it, God. That's what it is. You know, but that's our job. Each one teach one, spread and replace. The reason why I shook is hard for us. I did a build on it. We're gonna separate the unbuild from a lot of the other unbuilds. The reason why I shook is hard is because we come from the point of view of the spirit, which is our own personality, which is I, self, Lord and Master, which is basically selfishness, how I feel, what I want, desire, how we die, desire, ignorance, and emotion. And that's not where Ashuk is from. Ashuk is from the soul. and it's unconditional and it's divine. That's where Ashuk is from. And we don't come from there though. We gotta come from there. But we're the brother matter of fact, Irvin, where you at? I got your email. I don't see your email here. Mahatwi, I sent you the joint. Rondu, I sent you a link. Mahatwi, I sent you a link. Where Irvin? Because Irvin, I wanted you to build on yeah, the master already set things in motion. Make no mistakes about it, right? the master set everything in motion. I don't want any of the brothers and sisters out here I don't want any brothers and sisters out here being confused about the personalities that we brought on over here to build with us. Those brothers, the brother King Emperor Khufu and the brother of Chief Nanya Shabu Al are both students of the master. Let's clarify that. They're students of the master. One of them is more legit than the other. Y'all heard them. Y'all heard the testimony. One of them by far is more legit than the other. But neither one of them is the master. And they're not trying to be. One to say they're not. The other one, I don't know what's up with the brother. I want us to process the information through nine-mind reasoning. That's what I want us to do. And figure a way through this matrix. Because we haven't been getting the information from the people that we trusted. So we got to do what the God told us to do. We got to dig it out. We got to dig it out. Ron, dude, what's going on, God? I was about to read this Wizard of Oz. Remember that breakdown of the Wizard of Oz?
Back, sir.
Raul back. What's going on with you, God? How you been? You hear me? How you been?
Yeah, here you go. I'm good. I'm trying to get my charger. Go ahead. I hear you though.
Nah. I was just thinking. I'm about to read because we've been going through all this law stuff, right? So I said, all right, I'm gonna read to them. The Wizard of Oz breakdown. You remember that Wizard of Oz bill with the breaking down the movie based on what was happening in the government? Yeah, I'm build with them on that, and even the Matrix and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot because with them brothers was up here talking about. A lot of our people can't even understand the basics because they didn't go through it. That was literally their introduction to the fact that they've been living in the Matrix their whole life. Yeah, go ahead, God. You there? All right, so let me see. General information. Boom. Remember the Wizard of Oz movie, y'all? Yeah, that's what it is. Well, no, that's not where the what's the name? That's a breakdown of the Redemption. What is that? 4. Redemption 4.
The 4th edition.
Absolutely. Well, because you said, why you say laugh out loud? The redemption process was put together by an army of lawyers and bankers. Most niggas can't even understand it. And we're so far past it now because we've been studying it since 2004, 2005, and things of that nature. Yeah. So most of our people, we gotta spoon feed them because they don't understand what the hell is going on and why people are talking and making the claims that they're making. Because we come to understand that we know that the colonizers took over illegally and colonized damn countries in the world. but we don't understand that it was also colonized financially, that they created a whole goddamn
Well, we can,
alternative world.
right.
Okay.
We can even just take them back, even if we start just doing the knowledge to the United States Corporation.
Well, that's
what
why that's exactly where I was gonna go to. That's
right.
why the Matrix was created.
We can go right, but we can go back to the inception of its own history being established by the East India Corporation.
Wasn't that a tea company?
Right. It was, but
yeah, but I was just
now the importance of this is understanding the history behind this, right?
Go ahead.
And how the merchants of seas, again,
maritime
how treaties, how contracts are established.
That's right.
So when they began starting to do international trade and establishing contracts, what would happen is they would send out, vessels. And well, let me back up. Those who would invest, right? Obviously, it's no different than what we do today. You come up with a concept, you come up with an idea, an invention, whatever it may be, right? A business proposition.
That's right.
Obviously, you seek to get other investors, right? Whether it's from your immediate family, whether it's from friends, or whether it's from outside finances. You'll find some means in which you can get some finances in order to do what? To establish what it is that you want to do.
Business,
so
that's right.
It's business, commerce. So this is what was going on in, but what was happening is there was no security, right? Nobody was ensuring what was being sent out based off the risk, whether something may come back or not. That was the risk that was being taken. So what a lot of the elites started doing is they started setting up trusts, business trusts, right? Which will relieve them of what you would call, again, the risk involved in sending out these vessels. So as opposed to them putting up their own money, they started using collateral.
That's right.
Right? So as they start using this collateral, what this did is, say if the ship goes out, now if the ship go out, if nothing comes back, they get their collateral back.
That's right.
Or if something was for damage, if there was damages, if
they get compensated. That's right.
Right. Whatever the agreement of the contract was. As this grew, as they started venturing out, going out further, we all know about the story of Christopher Columbus and all that, discovered America, yada yada yada. We know the stories behind that.
Lies.
Before him, we know about Sir Drake. We could go down the list of these Vikings and what they've been doing, right? So now dealing with United States and the East Indian Corporation or the Dutch Indian Corporation, right? This was an actual corporation that was established by the European elites, mainly, the king, the queen. Who was it back then? Queen Elizabeth and Queen Ferdinand. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm correct.
One of the
Actually, I know I'm correct. Pardon self. So what they did was, when sending out these individuals on these ships, on these vessels, going out surveying the earth, surveying different parts of the earth for different resources. Coming here, we all know the story. They landed here, right? We say what? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
That's right.
But the importance of Plymouth Rock being one of the first, posts in which they came up on the land and saw how things were being ran, how things were being conducted. So now these corporations, they moved in. Many of the individuals are the so-called founding fathers. This who they were. They were merchants. They were individuals who were invested. Some of them were what you may call today counts of different counties, different states. They was appointed to different offices within the society, business structure. So these were businessmen. These were people who came over here with an objective to do business. They saw an opportunity in which they can conquer and take over lands. This is what they did.
Yeah, that's
so now this is what leads into, and I'm just giving, parts of the history.
Yeah. Preliminary
people
stuff.
have to start going back, researching the reality behind how we got to where we got to.
Well, that's what we talking about. That's why we had started. I started talking about this because of the fact that I had the two brothers on here and they talking about all the stuff that they've done. A lot of our people don't understand how and what's going on. They speaking it because them dudes been doing this since 2003, 4, 5, and they now outgrew the basic information, and they they on a whole nother wave with it. Like one of the elders said, yeah, the metaverse is gonna make all this stuff obsolete. Well, we're gonna be obsolete during the metaverse because we don't know what happened, then we won't be able to keep up and be able to change. A lot of our people is trying, you know what I'm saying? They trying to steal. A lot of our people is lost. They like I knew for a fact, right? When we was dealing with the ins leaguers, right? When we dealing with the corporate fiction of the name, right? I know brothers that were locked up and put into mental facilities because they couldn't explain themselves clear. When they was trying to bring up the difference between a corporation and the flesh and blood man. And I overstand.
Well, we can go into that. We can definitely go into that.
It's private.
It's important
It's in
for us
public.
to know. And what it also does is, again, it brings us back to the master teacher.
Yeah.
I can recall several times the master teacher saying, in fact, I can refer to one of the books, what is it? Your Potential, where he's describing in the potential about the works, the matters of the works that he was putting in, right? Many of those things that we didn't know of.
That's right.
Obviously, this was one of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
because guess what? Baba constantly said he's a secured party.
Well, we know this. We know.
No, I'm just saying that putting out there for the people.
I mean, for those who've been following the case as they should have been.
For the people that's sitting there that's like, nah, you know what? Like we shouldn't even be worried about this information and things of that nature.
We don't have no excuse, right? Excuse me, pardon self.
Yeah.
We don't have no excuse, God. We understand and we overstand that we are a tribe made up of many different characteristics.
That's a fact.
Different talents, different levels of intelligence,
levels of comprehension,
different professions, different levels of intelligence, different comprehensions, right? But we're all united and bound together for one common goal, one common reason, one common purpose.
That's right.
We accepted this duty. Thus, we have to live out this duty. So, right, we're going to speak on a little bit of civics. For those who are in the chat, maybe we know about civics, maybe we don't. But it's important for us to know about civics if we're going to be moving in operation as a nation. We have to know about these things. The primary thing about civics is what? Understanding your rights. But what they don't teach you, right, is your duties to uphold your rights. See, this is what this is about. See, you have rights, and people misunderstood the rights, not knowing and understanding that rights are property, and you have to take hold of your property, which means you have to take a claim. Huh?
Yeah,
you have to take a claim. See, rights are not something that's just given.
Yeah.
Right? You have a right. So, for instance, I ask this. This is a question, right? Do you have a right to breathe? Can anybody give you that right? Is that a right? No. Do the knowledge, no?
No.
Anybody in the chat, follow the wisdom in the question. Do you have a right to breathe? Just think about that for a second. So let's distinguish between when we saying rights and dealing with our natural indigenous sovereign status as natural beings. Ethereal first and foremost, right? Because we don't understand that our existence goes beyond, the planet Earth or the planet ET. Correct.
Absolutely.
So we have what you call natural rights or what you have inalienable rights. Inalienable rights, right?
Yes, yeah.
Which is rights that cannot be leaned upon, rights that cannot be breached, rights that cannot be disrespected or violated in any way. But that right has to first be established by the individual or group. So a right has to be proclaimed. It has to be established. It's not a given.
Something has to be claimed and brought to the attention in order for it to be dealt with. Otherwise, because the system deals with things based on a law of presumption and assumption. So it's assumed that you the rest of these corporate entities that don't know no better, unless you proclaim something different. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality. That's like, oh, we thought you was a believer until you started saying that you were knower and started moving accordingly.
Start saying that I deal with facts.
That's it.
Give me only the facts.
That's
So
it.
let's deal with the facts of the matter.
Uh-huh.
Right? Assumption and presumption. Offer and acceptance. These matters have to be made very clear. So, rights. For one to have a right, you also have a duty to uphold that right, which means you have to protect that right. How do you protect your rights?
So let me get it clear. Hold up. When you talk about the rights, so it's clear for the people in the audience, you're talking about quote unquote God-given rights as opposed to state-given rights. Because you're talking about the inalienable rights, because that by laws of nature should not be infringed upon unless you go out there and you violating
the rights of someone else.
Yeah.
Or the naturalness, as we say, because we deal with natural nature. So what they call it rights, we call nature. Overstand. So they call it rights, establishing of rights. We call it natural nature. Or they may call it inalienable rights, organic rights.
And right now,
rights.
Because I see brothers talk about them taking right now, they're taking everything because we haven't made our claim of our proper status. So everything you do in this system
you don't have
under their authority, and you have no rights because this is a commercial corporate system.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And you have what you've been made, what we have been made under this current structure, right? Under the New Deal as it was established by way of Roosevelt. We could take it back to that, right?
Yeah,
under the New Deal, everyone was made what you will call an instrumentality.
House Joint Resolution 192.
Exactly.
June 5th, 1933.
192.
June 5th, 1933. That's right.
And keep in mind, this is during the time of the Great Depression. 1929 was the Great Depression. 1930, he was elected into office. 1931, he came in with the New Deal.
Let's see which one of y'all that is. Go ahead.
By 1934, it was elected and passed. It was passed through office. This is where he set aside, right? He set aside to the gold standard. This is what happened. This is where he took the rights of the people, because those rights was connected to what? Something that was intrinsic, the gold. So when he removed us off the gold standard and set it aside, this took away the rights. This is what put us in the matrix. Everything became industrialized, commercialized, and everything industrial. All you got to do is look up the word industrial, indus, right? Go into the science of it. When we get into the science of it. So we were sucked into this warp, and we was turned into a commercial entity known as an instrumentality. So you only became an instrument of the corporation.
That's a fact. I mean, but that's what is presumed, unless you start to set the tone,
unless you declare and define
to
something
separate
different.
Yourself from that. Absolutely.
So
and
now,
this is what Bible was doing.
Right. How did you become an instrumentality of the state? Right.
Your mama.
Of the corporation. Huh?
Your mama.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this, right? How long has Social Security and the birth certificate been around? Watch this.
After that bankruptcy.
Okay, so this came about in 1934.
This is the New Deal. This is the New Deal.
1934, Social Security, 1935, the birth certificate. Elijah Muhammad, right? Elijah Muhammad warned the people then, do not go down there registering yourselves or your children.
Back then.
He said this then.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Because they came out with the census poll. All this started then. Go back and do the knowledge.
No, the same time frame. So when the devil shifted, the nation was born. Yo,
a whole new nation was born.
Don't do that. That's why that's one of the reasons why it was called a nation, because it was the end of the United States as an organic nation. They were now selling out to become that corporate status, getting that corporate status.
Well, this is when it totally became under the sole authority and controlship under the 13 families. We know this to be a fact. This is when they took the gold. This is when they got the mafkuzat. That's a sign and symbol for the conscious mind. I'm gonna say this again.
And they put up
This
flyers
is where they
back
got
then.
the noob.
They put up flyers back then where they literally took personal. It wasn't just like gold from the bank. They took personal gold. It was like it was a threat. It was like 10 years prison
Well, that
and
takes us back right to the
and
supremacy clause.
$10,000 fine if you didn't hand over the gold.
Right. He also enacted
Roosevelt, yeah.
Right, Roosevelt. Right. He also enacted the War Powers Act.
Absolutely.
Let's
Absolutely.
keep in mind.
Well, it shifted from something else. And they renamed it
The War
Powers Act. Yeah.
Because before him, I think it was who? Eisenhower. Was it Eisenhower?
The timeline. Let me see. 70, 74. All right, hold on. I got a timeline here.
This is when the non-laborum came about. That's what the guy Irvin L. always building on.
On the what?
The non-laborum. The war name, the corporate name, the vessel name.
Oh, yeah. But that's where everything split. Oh, that's Mahatri out there on the swings in Barbados.
Rahul back, Mahatri.
Yeah, Rahul back.
Mahatri, either it's the insects in the background, you out there in the yard, you're in the porch.
Nah, that's just how the windows are closed, bro, but they're loud, family. They're loud. You know what I mean?
So now, understand, let's keep it in mode, understanding how you became an instrument to the corporation or a party too, right? So getting those by your parents or by our parents, our ancestors in that time, by them going down, getting these instruments, signing up through the Social Security office, right? Bureau.
Security instruments.
They created security instruments.
That's right.
They created collateral bonds.
That's
no
right.
different than what they still do today through the Federal Reserve or through any other bank. Or
that's
even
what was
established today. Right.
That's what was
Because
established, the Federal Reserve Bank. That's exactly
right.
what happened.
Well, we understand that when the United States, right? The United States have what they call a budget, right? So we always hear about either they running the surplus or they running the deficit. But now how they manage and run the deficit or the surplus is what you got to understand. How we keep these things checks and balances. Right? So this is a bonded system. You got the bid bond, the performance bond, and the payment bond. It's all collateral. But what has happened is because you don't understand what's the connection, you don't understand what they call the nexus, what's linking you to the corporation, what's keeping you bound, what's keeping you binded, right? Through these adhesive contracts. That's what has you locked in. These adhesive contract is what keeps you glued into the system. Because now you become as a number, you become a registered, a custom, as they would say. An international bond code, which is just to be ran through the system.
Well, plus, in addition to that, round back to all the family, in addition to that, it's in between the obvious contracts, you have all of the little invisible contracts.
These invisible contracts.
The acceptance of benefits and privileges. You understand what I'm saying? The acceptance of business of privileges, and that gives them the authority. And because now with the acceptance of privileges and benefits,
what's one of those privileges, dog?
Award of the state.
Right. One of those privileges is you having a means to work. That's a privilege under the corporation.
Bro, one of the privileges is just the post office delivering mail to your house.
This is a privilege.
That's a privilege. You only pay for the mail to get from where you at to the postmaster general. You supposed to take your behind up there and pick it up.
All right, Sean.
So when they come and drop the mail off, that's a privilege. That's a benefit. You know? Yeah. Oh, it's not done wrong if it's done without prejudice, Irvin. Come on now.
What the God said?
He said he's telling you put your signature somewhere. I told him to send me. I gotta get his email. Irvin, send me your email. They gonna have me.
But like the master teacher, right? We went on, right, a long journey on a short path.
Short path.
So we got to treat this the same.
I just
want to speed these ethers up, dog.
I want to let everybody know too. I'm about to have I'm about to have a what's the name? A Zoom. It's gonna be a private Zoom because we got some other information that I ain't put in public. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted. Everybody that want to be involved, because yeah, it's because this is a non-dimensional game of chess going on, and we just got to know that. So don't think like a lot of people think, well, because we talk about a lot of heavy stuff on here. This ain't even this is still the tip of the iceberg. We got some heavy stuff to talk about that's not for everybody's ears and eyes. And so this is the beginning stages. And I brought those brothers on here to let you see how far ahead other people are, right? Who not even dealing with the doctrine or dealing with
using the doctrine to get ahead.
They springboarded with the doctrine to do what they're doing. Listen, everybody have their methodology, everybody have their way of reasoning, and we don't have to agree. But one thing we're not going to ignore, like perfect example, both of those brothers are in position to win with whatever people they got based on what Baba built. And they just kept moving with the information. They kept moving with it. So we gotta get into, because like how my mom's always talk about, my mom's like, the devil busy. And I said the problem is not that the devil busy, the problem is that the God is lazy. The devil's always busy. They always out hustling when they know they don't have the talent or intelligence that somebody else got. But they out there, they stay out there. So we gotta get involved to evolve, or we're gonna dissolve. Because this is our test. I keep saying it. This is our test, y'all. We never been tested. Who was testing us with the doctrine we got? What religion? Who? You can't be serious.
Right.
Oh, this is the test. And then most our people, they fell off. They fell for the flip flam, the banana in the tailpipe. Yo, Irvin, put your what's your name? I'm trying to give you some slot time. Put your email in the chat. Mahatu, you got something you want to build on, God? You want to say something, Elder?
We could keep building on the signs here.
No, we on it. We on the sign. Listen, like I said, I was gonna read the Wizard of Oz.
No. Add on.
I was gonna start there because I love
just a brief introduction.
Exactly. No, but I love the way it was introduced to, because it was similar, like where's that? We'll do it again. Do it again, God.
I got a question.
All right, go ahead, family. I'm listening.
As a vessel, right? Or whatever it is, we know that every corporation or every vessel has a banner or insignia, right?
Sure.
Does the UCCs have a banner or insignia?
The document itself?
No, the corporation, the entity.
As far as the United States,
whoever put it out, do they have a banner or insignia?
You talk about the corporation that put out the Uniform Commercial Code.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm asking that question for a reason.
I'm gonna say they have a symbol on the top of their documentation that looks like a flag.
And what does the flag have in it?
Depends on what the individual would make.
Well, when I saw the UCC insignia back in 2000 and around 5 or 6, it's the same as the flag of Barbados, and that's what's crazy, because Shabu'il spoke about it years ago when he said, to a certain extent, that it was started out here. You see where I'm coming from? So I'm like, yo, what is the link between them and out here? Because when I did the research, this whole thing goes back to the laws of the Maritime Admiralty Law. Goes back to when men were coming off of boats. Remember, at a certain point in time, there was no piracy until men began to go from one ship or vessel to the next. Yes. And when you went from one vessel to the next, you were called a visitor. So whenever you're traveling from one country to another, they call you a visitor. But
Yes.
what happens is they make a commercial contract by asking you if you have enough money to stay in this place for X amount of time, right? I learned these things. What happens is after these men began to visit the other vessel, and as word spread, and there was no insurance upon the property on the boats, so the pirates came along and began to, attack the boats. And this goes back to the 11th and 12th century. This is, what I'm saying, like years ago. And then at a certain point, I think it was the Jews didn't have any leeway in what was happening in commerce, so they set up certain corporate entities way back then. And all this stuff leads to where we at now. So my whole thing is with even what's his name again? Shabu, because we spoke. That's why the night he spoke, I had nothing to say because we spoke. You understand where I'm coming from? But the
Yeah.
whole thing is, how do we tap into? Personally, I want to get this thing done. You know what I mean? For the sake of Baba's freedom. Because there are things that Baba said about coming to Barbados that I'm not saying, right? But all
Yeah.
I know is he wants to come here. So I'm like, what can we do to prepare? Because but I have a lot of questions. Like when I asked Shabu Il, what does it all have to do with Africa? Let's be real.
Did
Let's be
he
real.
answer that?
He couldn't answer. But these are my questions.
No,
Because
I feel you. But Baba, in that brief piece inside the
I mean, that's the etheric link, though.
yeah, but no, it's literally a physical link too, because
Indeed.
he explains the migration from Ghana
To
as
I'm
a
him,
saying,
landmass
I'm
of the
speaking
Yamasi.
of but I'm speaking of the freedom process. You understand where I'm coming from? Of becoming a
Tour.
secured party.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is the one thing that we have to remember is that Ghana was invaded by the British.
Yes.
mm-hmm.
So there might be some type of link with that too, in Geneva, Ghana, right? But with all that being said, my whole thing is I need the link to get into that. You follow where I'm coming from? And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, because for like I said, for years I've been asking about it, and I've been coming up, you know what I mean, on a dead end, a stumbling
Oh
block.
no, the people that got it, they don't give it. That's why, like, I ain't gonna lie. Even like Shabuel and Kufu, one thing for sure, they're gonna overload you with information. They're gonna give you all the treaties, all the contracts, and now if we dealing with nine mind reasoning, we supposed to go and research, look everything up, confirm. Because ain't no listen, it's nowhere in the world, not just them, but then you got brothers like what's that brother that be on Side Netta and his situation, the brother Ali Muhammad. He got documentation from the same route that Shabuel got his documentation, and he was able to solidify a recognized little sovereign nation over there with his own level of bluebacks. So it's not impossible. But guess what? Even him, he based his constitution on Baba's.
What?
Set the tone, and everybody used
That's
it
what we say.
for it. See what I'm saying?
So this goes back to what I was saying the other night when we had the God Patar Noon, right?
Yeah, now, but I just texted him. I'm texting right now.
This
Like, where
goes
you at?
back. So this is all goes back to the Constitution, because this
Yeah.
is what the brother Kufu, Emperor Kufu, kept emphasizing.
Yes.
Right now, I just heard him on the who was that? Assassin, right?
Who?
Kufu.
Kufu.
Oh, he was playing. Oh, he up there or he was playing him?
Nah, he was up there. He went up there.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because
Yeah.
what the brother been doing, what Amanuma was doing, he listened to the to the recordings, and then he was doing his reviews on it, having people comment and having other people coming up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was
I got a
peaceful.
question. So my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, God. We just
I got a question.
talking right now.
The barber said he received his card under the Morris Sands Temple in 1973, right?
Yep.
Could that
Mm-hmm.
have anything to do with whatever we plan to do?
Well, I
Does,
mean,
does anyone know what year Barber became a secure party? What time span?
that's a fair question.
Because you understand where I'm coming
But
from, right?
right. But even with being a secure party, right? That has to constantly be updated.
Absolutely, you got
So
to
Yeah.
do
even if you
amendment. You got to do
backdated, it
amendments.
doesn't really. Even if you backdated, it doesn't really. You understand what I'm saying?
You got to do amendments.
Right. You have to do the
Because it's a chess game. They keep changing stuff,
So
and you got to stay
in
updated.
other words, you can lose that status.
Yeah.
So let's not confuse secure party status with our indigenous status.
And
this
that's
is what I
what
used to
Baba
have
did.
to.
That's real.
Right. What that has to be, because we have to know the difference between our commercial status again and our natural status.
And that's a fact.
Right. So and this is the blessing of what the master teacher was showing us, because that's what he was actually doing. See, you had those who came and showed us, okay, this is how you can move in your commercial status. You had those who were showing us, okay, this is how you can, in some semblance, move in your natural status under the religious cloak, right? Because even the Moorish Science Temple of America was a what? It was a divine national movement having religious tenets. So it's clear that the objective of Noble Drew Ali in that day and time was to teach the people of their nationality.
Absolutely.
And how to go back. And he established the Moorish Science Temple on what they call, right, the private side of Illinois.
Now he set it off. He set it off.
Well, I'm mentioning this because what he was actually creating, it was obvious what he was actually establishing was a corporate soul.
Who's that?
Saying that because this is what the master teacher had us up under ever since 1963. Mm-hmm. It was a corporate soul, right? Because we did everything independent of any other body and entity, even state, government, or municipal.
Because all that stuff is contracts.
Exactly. And he was moving and preparing us through each transition. He was moving and preparing us to move us back into our natural state of Sabians under our indigenous status. So we was being taught and learned how to run and govern and establish a government. So it was a process. So what we have to do now is get back into that process, because like we said, all the tools is there. We just got to get the tools and get back to building with them. So for us who have knowledge and understanding, the overstanding of these matters, for some of us who have done a secure party process, for some of us who have started the process of becoming, because you have, let's mention that too. You can't overlook that status, is that you do have state citizen status, sovereign citizen status.
Listen, one of the reasons why Khufu was able to do what he did is because he established himself as a foreign national on his own in his own country. Because remember, us as so-called black folks, we're not citizens, we're non-citizens of the United States. You know what I'm saying? We're the only non-citizen, we're foreigners in the place where we're born and raised.
But here's the problem.
Go ahead.
So being a fact, right? So if we're foreigners, then where are we from then?
No, listen, no. But check it. We're foreign to the jurisdiction that's currently controlling.
Exactly.
And because they're a corporation. And we're organic.
But they're also a corporation that runs the land.
Truth.
Right? This is why you can see where they let all these other individuals from these other countries come in here like that. Right? See, remember, those are actual citizens of other countries.
Yes.
Which means that there's an embassy that still does represent them.
And that's what they set up in order for them to function.
Still flies their flag. There's a people that still speaks their language.
What? Huh? So what message do we want to give to the people in order for them to be able to in order for the people to start on a journey, you know, of freeing themselves? What would be the first thing that they need to go to start researching? Irvin, and instead of typing what you typing, you need to be typing your goddamn email. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are indigenous to the land.
When he said you can't be sovereign citizen.
Listen, I don't see nothing. I see yo, but you ain't typed nothing else.
Nah, but tell the God, maybe the God misconstrued what we said, because that definitely wasn't said.
Oh nah, we know the Dred Scott case that we're not a citizen. We don't want to be a citizen anyway. But what we talk about is one of the things that Malcolm X was one of the first that said it. Like he was like, look, black people are not citizens. It's a cruel joke because a citizen has to petition for citizenship. How many of y'all niggas petition for citizenship?
Well, they 14th Amendment citizens.
But I read the USC's, right? Not the Constitution, the USC, the United States Codes. It said a citizen is anyone who works for the federal government, and that's a true citizen. So unless you're working for the federal government, the U.S. of A., you're not really a citizen.
But so, you do work for the federal government.
But the trick is that you work just from with the documents that you have, you put on a stroll and don't even know it.
You become, remember the term. Look, somebody look up that word instrumentality, right? An instrument, right? And it's in the same code that Matui just quoted. Because you are instrumentality of the corporation.
Because I'm just trying to get stuff clear, because I've been through this, where I read a citizen was someone who worked for the federal as an agent, as in the FBI, because the original U.S. citizen was FBI members. I also read that taxes were only incumbent upon commercial movement vehicles, a bus, a taxi, because the word taxi is taxes, right? When they used to call it mercantile trading back in the day, with a horse and carriage or whatever, right? Those are the people that taxes were incumbent on, and not a regular person in society. So I'm asking questions to get clarity, because I've been through this. You see where I'm coming from?
You absolutely correct, Matthew. But see,
what happened?
You absolutely correct. So this is how. Look, okay, this is a basic way of seeing it, right? You know, when you go to the supply store, right? You know they got those forms you can get and fill out.
Yeah.
You ever notice that those are UCC forms?
Run that by me one more again.
If you go to a supply store,
say
you want to order some type of supplies or whatever, right?
Right.
And they don't have them. A lot of times, you know, you could get it on credit or layaway. Remember they used to have a layaway, all these different things. You know, they have the supply forms. You know, those forms are actually the UCC forms.
I can understand that.
This is for anybody. Just go into a supply store, walk in there, and ask for the forms and see what you see. Right? So why am I saying that? Because it's what we're talking about. We're talking about standards, right? That's what the U.S. Codes represents. The U.S. Codes represents the standards of the statutes, meaning the statute staples that these people put in place in order to govern the commerce, right? So now, as a citizen of the corporation has agreed to provide for you certain privileges or benefits. But in order for you to do that, you have to give up something, right? So what does the corporation pledge to do? The corporation pledge that it's going to secure you. See, because they still use the base of the Constitution in order to, you know, perpetrate this fraud, this deception. They still use that. So they got us thinking in the semblance of a real Constitution, but in reality, it's been hijacked and have become nothing but a shell, a semblance, right? Something that appears to be, but is not. seems to be real, but it's not real. The color of law.
The color of
Okay.
law. That's how most
The
of the
color of
things
law.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so under this color of law, once you accept whatever it is that they're benefiting you, which they give you the benefit and right to work, this is why you have to sign that contract. What is the contract for work? They call it W-4s and W-2s, correct?
Yep.
Matthew.
I'm listening, brother.
Okay, so
Because that's in the U.S. of A. But I'm in Barbados, so I'm listening.
okay, but I mean, even under international jurisdiction, so you already understand that. So, well, again, so now you fill out this form. This form, what are you doing? You're saying that you're willing to give up a certain amount of your privileges or rights, the semblance of your rights, in order that they provide you with a job. So you agree that you're going to pay these taxes. You're going to report at work on a certain time. You're going to be at work at a certain time. You're going to do the work that you agreed to do in order for you to receive that stipend that they agreed to pay you, right? That's called instrumentality or instrument of. Another thing that the corporation gives you is, again, they give you a standing army. They tell you that they're going to defend what it is that you gather in value and rights. They're going to protect your rights. So they establish a standing army to protect your rights. You agree to be a citizen in order for them to protect your rights. So you see what's happening here? The more and more you go into the state or into the system, you're giving up more and more rights.
More and more rights.
Giving
Yeah,
up more
that's
and
a
more
fact.
freedoms.
Yeah,
right?
that's a fact.
So the more and more freedoms you give up, the more and more you become dissolved. So now you don't have any rights. So now you just become a what? A classless citizen is what they call it. We call it a what? Third party, third citizen, third level citizens.
Yeah.
So this is how they trap you into the system, because they're actually playing off your means of necessity.
Yeah, because
You know
they
what?
put you in a fiat position where you force by force of law and lack of information, you fall in line with these tacit agreements.
I gotta get that done.
Then you go to school, the public school system train and teach you to fall in line with it, right? They teach you all about commercial documents. The education that you learn is nothing but commercial law. That's what you get.
They teach you everything but how to manage fiduciary law and deal with credit and debt.
They tell you how to get in debt. That's commercial law today. Commercial law is based upon and predicated off putting you in debt. That's what it's all about. And unless you make yourself, that's where the secure party comes in at, where you're able to write off the debt or discharge the debt or actually give the debt value. I used to always tell a lot of people a lot of times, after you make a claim on it, right? Now you can use that paper. It's just like a bond now, right? Why not insuring the leverage up on it? But that's another bill for another day. We'll come back around that because it's all commercial paper.
It's all commercial paper. And the ones that, that's
what you got to do is give it a value, right?
Those signatures that you accept it for value. You hear
how we do that if we don't got venue?
How you Shabu L accepted everything for value?
I mean, this is a fact. Listen, nothing them brothers was saying was wrong.
No. Listen,
just the way
that's
they
what I'm saying.
Doing it,
it's just the
being
ego,
selfish in their own way.
The ego that go with it.
It's the ego that gets in the way with it.
And plus, too, he was talking commerce. You understand where I'm coming from? Everything he said was based around commerce.
Everything is commerce.
Everything is commerce.
Dealing with the corporation.
You see what I'm saying? But my thing is, but just bear with me, fam, because we gonna have to talk in private because there's some things I want to share.
Like I said,
right?
we gonna do a Zoom. We're gonna do some private stuff because everything can't be up here anyway.
Right, but
so let me ask this question, right?
Hold on, let Mahatri go. Let what you were saying, Mahatri.
What I'm saying is this, right? In my research and reading about Keaton, right, and
yeah,
and his speeches and getting a little insight into that other book, right? I forgot the name of it. They spoke about the not redemption. Nah, there's another dude that wrote some. I forget. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But what happens is this, right? I read about Keaton and his lectures on
Gene Keaton.
Keaton, right? I read that stuff. I did the research. I had the Morris Science Temple app. You know what I mean? I accepted for value, all that stuff, right? I had I got some. I had the papers. My whole thing is this, right? Then they took me. They came because I was living in the U.S. of A., driving around, all that stuff, no license, no ID. I was free in the U.S. of A. Even over here, I don't need a license. You find where I'm coming from? Because it's just a differentiation, but a similarity. But when they came and got me, and when they took me to court, I saw an American flag with gold fringes.
That's right.
When I got to the Barbados embassy, and they took me up there shackled, right at my feet, around my waist, and handcuffed. When I got inside the Barbados embassy, I saw a Bajan flag with gold fringes.
That's
And I
right.
said to the lady, I said, "Excuse me, sis, but why does the Barbados flag have fringes on it?" And she held her head down.
They know the game.
It's a
Good.
They know the game.
corporation.
Wartime.
Correct.
Wartime. That's
Wartime,
right.
maritime law,
Correct. And
That's
that
right.
also means
admiralty law.
that it means the corporation of Barbados is being ran by the insurance company,
That
right?
means that's right. The organic country is sleep, and the de facto corporation has taken over.
Thank you. And the de
That's right.
facto corporation is not ab initio, meaning it was not here from the beginning
From
or
That's
the
right.
before the
beginning,
so-called
absolutely
beginning.
right,
That's
I
indeed.
right.
know this. Now I want to know what can the old man do, meaning the elder right here, to make that start, right? To get this thing done, because we got to do something,
Well,
everything, all things for Baba from wherever we at.
that's
That's
why
what
the
I want. That's what I
conversation.
want to get into,
That's
fam.
why this conversation even exists. See, that's what it was about. The brothers was about jump starting the dialogue so that we can start moving into action, because we've been sitting there asleep in the water, dead in the water in maritime law for the last 20 years. You see what I'm saying? It's all our stuff, beloved. It's all our stuff. Everything is ours, man.
So, so, so my question is this: did the did the God, meaning the master teacher, Baba Yanun, did he instruct and tell us to get nationalized?
I heard it through the grapevine. I mean, he told us by putting the books out, he was telling us that we were Jamasi and that we were supposed to be doing certain things, but it wasn't one of those things that came down a pipeline like,
No, I
yo,
didn't.
It
this is what
wasn't an
y'all gotta
order. It
do.
wasn't right, right,
This
right.
is what we're doing right now.
It wasn't
It
an active
it
right.
trickled down in conversation with people who didn't even understand it. People that just would claim it and say, yo, this is what we are, or this is what we on right now. You see, a lot of our people looked at the master like all the rest of these hustling ass niggas that just talking. They thought they didn't know that he seen it and he
Yeah,
had
they
the,
looked
he
at
had the
the
hookup.
same old scam and shit.
Yeah, they thought he
Right,
was
Yeah.
right.
one of the soapbox preachers. They didn't get it. And so, and I'm talking about our own people. Then in this circle, and it didn't trickle down to the prospective regions when the people that was going up to see Baba in the South for the regular, and then they was going back to where they wasn't bringing the emphasis on, yo, we got to get nationalized. Yo, we got to move like this. A lot of them was doing it themselves, but they wasn't bringing it to the people.
But you know what happened too, fam? Let me interject. You know what
Go ahead, go
happened?
ahead.
Remember when we had the Moorish school, right?
Wapi Nation of Moors?
Yeah, and
Sure.
Baba had spoken of the third article judge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Remember what Baba said about that?
He said that's the only real judge.
But no, he also said that a Negro in the family was playing his music too loud in Eatonton, right? He had Negroes outside the house or whatever. They was out there drinking. He was in the Nubian back. The guy was in the Nubian.
Uh-huh.
And the people called him. The people called the police on him or the sheriffs. And the guy called Texas. He told the police, y'all can't do me anything
Because the third article
because
judges is in Texas. That's
and the
right.
Negro called Texas,
Mm.
right? The Negro called Texas and had a third article judge come all the way from Texas down to goddamn Easington, to the ghetto, to adjudicate for this guy. And Baba found out and said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, he pulled. That's when he pulled the
That's when he pulled out.
Constitution off the market.
Correct.
Yeah. Because niggas, because I remember when he first was telling everybody, he was like, look, don't go out there. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there.
Right.
We putting it together right now. Don't go out there running. But you know how niggas is. Again, that's why the significance of the brother Kufu, Amun, and Latif being a part of the original 4 families that Baba set in motion in the contract for the Yamasi. It makes sense that he kept a small circle of brothers that he was teaching in order for us to have contingency plans. But naturally, you know, first of all, if you pay attention, those brothers, right, the brother Shabu Al and Kufu, they haven't touched. They stopped studying 2002, 2003. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You pay attention, they not where we're at. We got 20 years worth of information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
on them, and so you see, as far as the spiritual and the culture. Now the law on that law shit, they speak fluent legalese right now. We can't even don't even play that game. And Kufu's thing is he got his name is listed as one of the original people that were there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the bit. He's there now. His reasoning on why he hasn't gotten the master is just as hollow as Shabu Al's.
It is. I agree.
Honestly, because you got all the power. Who cares what the nation and the tribe and how they didn't let you connect with him when you got all the access that you got through your authority and status? You ain't got to deal with none of them niggas at all. You know what I'm saying?
God, he said it out his own mouth. He said the master teacher told him to come get him.
Come get him, yeah.
When he told him
19 years ago.
Listen, when he told him that order still stands right now.
Yeah.
You know what Baba got
that
they don't got, God? The people and the loyalty. And
that's what they want.
Moving because Baba got the people worldwide ready to move with them.
Correct. That's what they want. Facts.
That's facts. And so, and one thing, the brother Kufu. Listen. I enjoy talking to him because he got the information. So I'm sitting there, we downloading. But at the same time, I'm paying attention. I'm like, come on, God, how you ain't got the God out? like this the God that's responsible for you to be king, big brother almighty. Why you ain't out yet? What's up? But with us men,
because he don't want to have to advocate his situation.
But look, it's about advocate. What we gonna move to the side? Move to the side to share? Nigga, that's the one who taught you how to walk and talk. The one who taught you how to run. You you understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, but then at the same time, I do take in mind, be like, look, the immense pressure and responsibility that dude got to be dealing with to put together a government as mass and as vast as they set up. Because not only did he now get the mass that Baba put in there, and he got the Washington and the whole Morris shit too, bro. First thing first is not letting these Mukasu clap him and clip him. That's the first thing he had to worry about. And then the Nagaru. And then he got to worry about the Nagaru clap him and clip him.
Right.
Because they killed one of the brothers, the Amun, the one who Baba was teaching since 1978. Yeah, they killed him in Atlanta. So right after Baba got snatched, because they knew he was the one that was going to slide in position. So it's real. It's a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that when you start asking questions, man, look, that truth knock on that door, don't get upset, nigga. You ask the question. It's going down. Now, you know what brought them out now, God, was me, nigga. I brought them out. I had to, because we got to go in that direction to clear up all this mess. And these dudes are the authorities they the ones who have the most information in the subject matter as far as they got the documents together. When I got told them,
as far as people who are not in there, because Baba's the one that really got it.
no, they built on what Baba had. Well, one of them.
Listen, but on a part of
Yeah.
what Baba had, because
Yeah.
Baba gave him the whole thing, a part of what Baba had,
Well,
part of it.
well, facts. Well, the thing is, what I'm saying on what Baba had, because Baba docked the Constitution with the that Yamasi tribe, and that made a full-fledged government. It made it organic. So, but you're right to a certain extent, and that's what we're gonna build on the Zoom, because Baba's a master. You know what I'm saying? Baba's a master. So there's holes in the piece that we done peeped, and we like, oh, okay, I reloaded. You know what I'm saying? But Baba, I got a letter from Baba, right? Where he wrote a brother, and he made it clear. He made it clear where he didn't mention nobody's names, but he mentioned the situation like he was looking at the video the other day. That's how crazy it was. I was sitting there like, oh my God, this dude here. the letter like 8 years old. And he going in. He going in. He's like, boom. Like, don't pay attention to none of that. Look, do it like this. He telling them, and I'm like, okay. And we got what it takes. We got what it takes, bro, for real. So we here, man. What are you talking about? That's for real, bro.
Right.
Listen,
What it's gonna take is for those of us who do know how to navigate these waters, right?
I agree,
How to
CeeLo.
move on the land.
Congress, I agree. I think he's really sincere. And because I spoke to Kufu for hours before coming on. We spoke for like 2.5, 3 hours before he even came on the day he came on. That's how real that was. He's just dumping out for me. Dumping. Yo, look.
Well, we know he needs the people also, though.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
He needs the people also. So here again, and we have to understand that this is something that the master teacher did for us. So rightfully, it belongs to the tribe.
That's a fact. We are the people. We are the government.
Now we're gonna take the obligation to learn this stuff the right way, the correct way, in order to learn, in order to be able to move how we need to move.
What about the fact that that Kufu's offering to teach us? Should we turn that down?
Because I heard him earlier over there on Assassin State. You know, Assassin over there talking about the 2,700. You know how we do, right?
Oh yeah. They talk about that bread
and everything. Crack can tell you want this for it. You give it right on up.
Yeah,
but I think, but the brother had a great response though. He said because it takes money to raise a nation and to move a nation. That's just a fact. Like, let's not act like you're gonna have to make some contributions to your nation. Like, you just can't live free off the land. Them days is over with.
Yeah,
right? But
ain't no niggas ain't trying to hear none of that.
Fundamentally put. But yeah,
it's Easter time. You got Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas coming up. Niggas ain't trying to hear none of that shit you talking about.
Ain't trying to hear none of that.
It's crazy.
And this is one of the greatest lessons that Drew taught our people back then. It takes finance to uplift a nation.
2,700 for my freedom? Nah, nigga. I gotta go shopping.
You understand what I'm saying? But like he said it's actually free. He just got it up there because that's how
Bro, I told everybody that. Because he said it.
He said he just wants you to enroll. He said he just wants you to enroll because he said it. He said I need the people, and he was clear. He said, "Yo, this is y'all." Because I guess everybody is still, under the stance of him calling himself the emperor. We got to remember that's a state. Because the question came about, one of the questions I saw, I think the brother is Maku still the chief? Of course.
That was the one of the part of the titles.
One of his titles, right?
Yeah.
I'm correct? Yeah. Maku still the chief. So again, the people have to understand the difference of what Emperor Khufu was talking about in the status of the chief. The chief is always going to be the chief. You can't change that status. Right? That's something that's passed down through bloodline. We got to remember the master teacher history here.
Let me tell you this.
This is not somebody who stepped on the scene again like one of these cons.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Created
yeah.
a fake identity for herself and said, no, the master teacher has proven thoroughly who and what his bloodline is.
Let
so
me
we
say
know
this.
why he's the Maku. We know why he's Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle. We know this. But now taking it to the state side, the political side, the governmental side, it's obvious that the master teacher, right? Because we dealt with the laws of democracy. The master teacher taught us that we set this system up. So the system of, and when we say democracy, let's be clear, we talk about the system of election. We're not talking about none of all that democracy, demonocracy. We're not into none of that. Okay. So we talk about a simple election process, a legal system that allows for people to decide who they feel is best fit to govern over their affairs.
Correct.
Right? So you become a servant to the people. So this was within the Constitution. So as the brother was saying, after that time had elapsed, he had to step into that position. Correct?
Yep.
We can't hear you, dog.
He said it.
Oh, he muted himself. Oh, okay.
Tour. You hear me?
Yeah. You was muted for a second. All right.
Yeah. I got you.
So we're talking about the state side in relation to our indigenous status. So when he keeps saying that he brought forth the venue, he brought forth the state side, he brought forth the active government. This is all that's dealing with. It doesn't abdicate the master teacher's position as being the Maku. And through this election process, right? And through this election process, just a little nugget, the master teacher can actually be elected back into that position.
That's why these niggas kill me with all this crybaby.
I'm just saying, but my point is that, that's a minute thing that we focusing on. Oh, he calling himself who cares?
Yeah, who cares what he calling himself? And that's what he's in that position. He worked.
The teacher set it up.
He worked for 12 years to keep that thing where it's at. He is
that position.
That's right. So
he said if he didn't put the work in, it would have went away. It'd have died.
That's a fact. And guess what? The master said that he is not the only chief. He's not the only. He said it himself. You go back to the Isles of Patmos. He's not the only Maku. You have other families. You have other chiefs. Baba said that too. Yes, he's our chief of the Yamasee Creek. But we got to pay attention to what exactly when Khufu's talking like that. We like, okay, well, what exactly? Let me say, what numbers are being used? Pay attention. It's okay. Stop being sensationalized and stop getting emotional. That's why we can't function in law and in business, because niggas always want to get emotional. Let me see what my glasses at. Yeah, I'm trying to send a link. We got another we really on borrowed time because my wife is trying to shut me down. But I got one more brother that want to come on. Being that Irvin didn't want to send me his put the email in. He keeps saying he did. I'm trying to see, sir.
Who you trying to let know the guy Irvin out?
Nah, Ned Patak.
Oh, what a God!
That's my man. He needs to come. He needs to come on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting him in. I was looking for him. I called him and whatnot. I was like, that's when you see me muted. I'm like, where you at? What's going on? OH. Let me see. OH. FE4. Okay, I'm trying to put this email in. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put it in. Young Elder. Yeah, we love you too, beloved. You be going all the way live. Young Elder, right back. Peace and blessings, beloved. Yeah, I sent the link. Yo, you just had a live over there, Young Elder. I appreciate you. Let's put the work in, man. Alienation over here. We okay. I don't get talk all the space cadet stuff we want. That's what it's about. Scare them away so they don't crowd the mothership. Scare them away. Them niggas don't crowd the mothership, God. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Here we go. Wow. I don't know where you go, Rondu, but you gotta get on back. All right, here we go. Yeah. Rahul back, beloved Rahul back. What's up?
Rahul back.
Hey, Rahul back. Rahul back, boy. Star.
Rahul back, Island man. What going on, boy?
Everything safe, you understand?
Everything I read them.
Yeah.
Here you go, Irvin.
Yeah.
I want to hear nothing.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I enjoyed listening. I wanted to bring to everyone's attention that you have and the teaching class gives specifically for our Yamasi Creek Nation. Now, based on what we was talking about earlier in the Emperor's position and what he means by contracting with him. Once you contract a certain way, it is no when Baba get out, he could once you contract a certain way, when Baba get out, he'd be the head of his state, and that state is one of 4 states that's under CMYE. So
Gotcha.
once you contract in a certain way, your state is going to be under, or the proprietorship of it will be under the emperor. You know what I mean? And the statement of Baba being the vizier, not necessarily a subordinate. That vizier is a powerful position, but that's not a true, in fact, chair. You understand? So the way we doing it, it doesn't predicate or put.
Not
Yeah,
to stop your wisdom, God. What you mean when you say it's not a true chair? What do you mean?
it's a true chair, but it's not that's not a title, or that's not a true chair for him to sit in. That's not his true chair. You see what I'm saying? His true chair is Pharaoh. Say that again.
Right. No, because it's not an
his true chair. Yeah, that's not his title. That's not his station. That's not his station. He's Pharaoh.
Oh, okay, overstood. No,
Yeah.
No, the reason
And could never be less than that. It could never be less than that.
No, true indeed. Actual fact.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And then the
But I'm
other
saying
situation,
I was getting to the point that a vizier is someone who's appointed. So I thought you was actually looking at it at that angle, saying that this is not an elected official. This would be an appointee, or someone who's appointed.
well, in government, and how the government use today, vizier is actually synonymous with attorney general.
Council.
Yeah.
Council, indeed.
Council general, COUNCI, council
Which is
general.
the status
Yeah.
that the master teacher had with Liberia, right? Council general.
Nah, the master teacher is CONSUL general. That's a different council. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the difference between the two?
The grand vizier would be like the attorney general or council, the council general, COUNCIL, like council, tribal council.
The council, right?
Attorney general, yeah, he'd be the minister, the head minister of law.
Head minister.
Wisdom, guidance.
Yeah, that's what the vizier was, a lawyer, attorney. Law.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, law was considered magic. You know what I mean?
It's all magic, especially when it's coming from us. We the maggers.
You the magi,
yeah, too. So here it is. You got something that you putting together for the people.
We already have a government that's formed, an interim government that formed Yamasi Creek Nation 208-1999 because of the failure of everyone else, their failure to act. We decided to act, form a plebiscite, and have made move to free the master teacher already. And that government is coming out to the point where we have to establish a role. We're coming out with classes and situations like what you're looking for right now. Now the classes, the university they talking about, the 2700 they talking about is a vetting system. It's a good system, an educational system. It's a university that's gonna teach you. Most of the Wu Sabat gonna disagree with that document because it's their doctrine because it's old and outdated. So they gonna outfit you with information on every level. Also commerce.
Right.
Yeah.
How to control your own sovereign state.
How you control your own sovereign state and dealing with the cultural expression of it. You know what I mean? But that's not nationalized. You know what I mean? We don't have that luxury and that time to to waste no time to educate nobody. We trying to form a role in the most fast fashion, because when we're finished with it, that's the last piece dealing with his release. So his, like I keep telling people, I don't know if you keep washing over heads. I don't know what the hell wrong. Maybe the spells working. All that this slicking goat neck and burying shit working on you or something, because you ain't hearing. The master teacher.
This shit ain't working.
Nah, we
Well,
just listen.
his freedom is secured already. We
But
just
we
need to
ain't
come with the
moving. We
role.
need to move, God.
We just need to come with that role and that seal. That's it.
So God, what you need us to do is what we
That's what
saying.
I'm saying. I already told you.
Put
We
us
got
in,
the
put us
people.
in
I told you from
alignment,
day
dog.
one.
Put us in alignment. Okay, we heard what you saying about Kufu and them, and we with you, dog.
Yeah.
So now what we saying is, what's the alignment, dog?
The alignment is establish a proper role.
We got to get this role going, right?
Establish a proper role. Establish a proper role.
What I'm saying is, give us a quick breakdown, dog. Give us a quick synopsis of how this will work, so that the people will be clear. So now we can start getting in tune with it and start getting enrolled.
Hold on. Do we want to do that on the public? That's my first.
No.
Yeah. We need it. We about to do that right now. That's an important question, and this answer is an important answer, because it's what we really need to do. And the point, and the reason we need to do it this way, because we got to understand that covenant of Gadabat, like Shabuel put, the agents that been blocking the situation, and everybody else, like all the claims, people talking about, we gonna make a claim, gotta come to court. Because of them kind of statements, we have to come through a certain way. And really the way the master teacher told us to come through, the front door, telling them what we want, but we're gonna come through a way where no one can make claims on what we're doing. So we coming through the door to the point where we're gonna make the declaration a certain way, which gonna give you full faith and credit for the individual that's filing that declaration. Then we're gonna do what Baba has called the naturalization paperwork. He intended us to naturalize into the nation. You understand? So we're gonna execute what he set up, what these spies and these agents have been blocking from 2002. The minute they put he put that on his desk and went around the corner, take the children somewhere. They arrested him. They called right away. Yo, you got to pick him up.
Now.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we never got to do this. You know what I mean? And they buried it. So it wasn't hidden. It wasn't lost. It was buried. You know what I mean? And we got to perform for agents. So now that we have it, we're gonna implement the naturalization paperwork that he had for everybody to do. You know what I'm saying? He intended each and every person to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come through the front door, make the public statement telling who we are. We're gonna make it a way where can't nobody make no claim, and everyone who has full faith and credit will form what we need to form as far as an official role. So we coming through a certain way where no one in the United States, within the United States, could say anything, and no other nation that's like another Yamasi nation could say anything. You know what I mean? We came free. Can't nobody say nothing.
So here's
this
the
was
question.
guaranteed freedom.
What are the people? Because bro, look, nobody's playing. Like, what do the people have to do? I told you behind the scenes, beloved. I know 10, 15 people right now ready to rock. Like authentic, straight up and down, like 6 o'clock. How are we gonna start being a part of this process? How do we get in contact with you? What do we do? How do we vet the people? Because we all talk about agents. There are agents, and even black devil ghouls who might not be agents, but they just love the system so much and they don't want to be separate from it. So how do we?
They spiritually working for somebody too, though. They agents is just it's just not the government.
That's right.
Government.
Right.
We already got the sovereign state. Get on the registrar. Get on the registry.
Yeah, and the people, the powerful sovereign states come through the people. The powerful tribe comes from the people. That's why everyone has the people.
So let's get to the process, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's
we just
the
gotta
process,
come. It's right though. All right. So, may I have the floor?
Yeah, the process.
Add on.
May I add some value? Let's add some value. My perspective from research. Rahubat Yasar, Achim Pamaran, and Hotep, Adabu, whatever makes y'all happy. So gotta give it up to the ancestors, gotta give it up to all those known and unknown.
I'll just mess with you, God. Go ahead, man. Let's go.
So a lot of us have already, especially as far as myself, this prospectively speaking, right, have already declared on the record who and what we are and what's our declaration and as we relate to the rest of the world. So, in my case, I already have foreign trust and all that good stuff. However, don't have a nation state, don't have a sovereign state. So, and even if you didn't do it the way that I've done it, because we all have our own process, we all have our own way that we felt like that we had to do what we had to do to set the record straight, to allow our paperwork to precede us, to put them on notice as to who we are, right? So now, because Emperor Khufu has our state, our government, and it's already the infrastructure is there. Now we come in, all we have to do is come as our own tribe. If we got a whole tribe, because you can have you can be your own tribe. You got your house. That's the first and foremost estate. That's the first and foremost tribe. Is your home, your house. So by nationalizing, you have your own state or tribe. So you come to where the sovereign state, that infrastructure is, and this register there. So we come in and add more value to the ship, to our government, and we run our own state, because now we're going to have our own venue once we go there with what we already got. It ain't nothing, they say the only thing that makes me say no, I don't want to deal with Shabu El is because he feeling like we got to come to him and he got the only solution, and he don't have a venue, he don't have no state. We're going to be coming to his stuff with what he got. No, we got our own stuff, and we just adding value to what Pop laid out for somebody to do. He ain't doing this. None of us did nothing. If whatever they built, Shabuel, it's a whole bunch of people. Aline, it don't matter who it is. They all used Pop stuff to get them to the point to where they looking like they got something different. They don't have nothing different. They got what Pop. They built it all on what His Excellency did.
His state.
That's why they use all his stuff.
That's right. It's his state.
Right. So it's his.
That's his state. Yeah.
So let me
that chair when they become big. Go ahead.
Let me ask a question to Anu, right? What do we do for that, dog? Because I hear we keep saying that he took the state. He took the state.
He ain't take the state. It's an illusion. They're speaking magic to you. I mean, you believe
okay,
him,
that's
brother.
what I'm saying. Let's make it clear.
He the state. They the state.
You can't take the state. Like, you just can't take the state. Because we know what the Constitution was. We know what the Constitution was enacted through.
Now he took the Mbasa tribe, the Yamasi Mbasa tribe that
but he didn't take the Creek Nation trial. You can't take.
He ain't got nothing to do with the Creek Nation. Can't take. And that's really what. And that's what they transmitting from. Too,
yeah, we all over the place. We all over the place. So we understand. We clear about that. He got his hands on the Bassa tribe.
Because that's a clan that they made. You know what I mean? It's a clan that they made.
But the Creek Nation, which encompasses all the Yamasi tribes, is what we talking about here, right? Correct?
208-1999 in specific. Okay. You know what I mean? The state that Baba headed. Now, 208-1992 was systematized from 1992. When we had that powwow in 1992 on the other side of the water, that's Yamaka Creek. That's an illusion they kick into you too, but we can kick that another time and dissect that, because that's certain information that the master don't want revealed about certain things because of it's very sensitive. Yeah. But when we get in other meetings and classes and when we're doing that, we can go into it a little further, because of things that you need to know, because we're gonna be able to move a certain way. However, how we moving, the emperor ain't try to hinder. And I mean, they do got a central bank, you know what I'm saying? And I heard you talking about when they had hit Amun, they put the hit on Amun because he went to Wall Street and won a case, you know what I'm saying, of a particular account.
Mm-hmm.
Now that particular account is what fell into control of the emperor, and he did some wonderful things. He flourished it, you know what I mean, and extended that to all them different nations and states he got. Each one of them got an account, man. That's some beautiful shit. You know that
Yo,
brother.
listen, listen, you gotta stop the Patanu. So what's up, Nepata? So tomorrow, listen, how about you want to come on Puppy tomorrow? Because I gotta shut you down. My wife about to kick me out. So
Yeah.
now
I wish I came. I was traveling today, so you know what I mean.
You
I really
always
just
traveling, God. You always doing that. I want to read this. I'll be keeping it funky. You know what I mean? It was cold on the stoop the other day, messing with Shabba.
Hold up, bro. When we get together, I need to know what.
Hold on, God. So check it. I want to read that. I wasn't gonna read this, but I'm gonna read it because Nepata came up here and just blew the lid off everything. So I was like, you know what, fine, it ain't no secret now. So this is the God. A brother got this letter from Baba some years ago. This is how Baba be thinking. He be on. So I'm gonna read the letter. Ain't got nobody names in it, but this is Baba giving instructions. And he said, I'm gonna start from. He says, tell the brother he hope he in good standing with the with you know, and that and he doing good or whatever the case may be. And he says, avoid those who play both ends, saying that they with us in our fate in our face, but behind it, and they are under others who only want to be us or act like us. They act like they are us. It's sad, but as in all great nations, and Iblis rises up to try and take the throne, a prince of cherubs, and he will be misled, and he will mislead many by saying that he got his powers or rights to do what he is doing by or from myself. That is an untruth. So stand strong with the only true tribe, the Yamasi number 208, under one chief, Maku, Black Thunderbird Eagle. We have no sub-chiefs or clans, no brother or sister tribes. We are not Washita, we are Creek. I'm going to stop right there. And that's from years ago. So, again, one of them situations with Bob is speaking about things that's happening now in the past, you know, and it doesn't make any sense until you walk through it. Mm-hmm. So,
let me show you how wicked these people are, right?
You mute yourself.
Let me show you how wicked these people are, right? They have we have a Creek acknowledgement letter, right? That has a number on it. It's other people that in our tribe got the number. If we had that number, he'd be out right now. It's because we don't have that number that the people who do, now the people who do got the number, they, you know what I'm saying, they block. They blocking like, yo, they don't.
Are they using it?
Nah, they ain't using it. They can use. They keep it from us. If I had it, you know, if I had it, it'd have been gone. It'd have been out. It'd have been out already, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's something simple. But the people who got the number, they calling in and they working through attorneys and shit to slander the group that's working to get them out, saying they don't got the number. They don't got that number. So we find that document. We just need to go get that document to the Department of Interior, and that will suffice. That would suffice to at least get us to the table to have a meeting if they're gonna ask for us or not. We get the role. We don't even need that. Well, that's how simple it is to free the master right now. People who got a paper, they could just turn in. These agents got it. The same agent we got that document up off of, they got it. You know, I'm just not. I'm not in Georgia right now.
Listen, sis. So look, we gotta set up like a private Zoom. Matter of fact, I want everybody to believe they emails so the God could go through the emails and we can vet the people, even myself, vet, you know what I'm saying? Like, and in those that we gotta get involved. We gotta do this now, God. Especially the fact that now you put it out in the public sphere. It gotta go now.
Nah, we doing this.
Because
and another thing Shabuel said is important too is who called the police on them? You know what I mean? He telling you calling the police on people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coincidence they got picked up in North Carolina. Same motherfucker called the police in the UN. Same motherfucker call the police then. If you see the whole state of Georgia kissing your hand, I ain't saying Kufu did it, but the people who, with him. You know what I'm
I feel
saying?
you. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen on his joint the Mount Arafat is part of his under his banner and being taken care of.
Yeah,
then another thing is though,
they was blocking each other. That's my point. I'm trying to point out to you. We blocking each other on every side. I mean, I don't know what the hell wrong with us come up under the master teacher instead of working together. I mean, we be a powerful entity. We work together, man.
That's what I was going to say. It don't make sense.
This is not put up.
His
This is not our way.
His excellency is our. I mean, our excellence is his excellency, right? And but another thing I like to say is what I've as far as study and research, you got to be careful with neutralization, right? Because we were never citizens in the beginning to begin with. We were never. So to naturalize, it's no need for us. We just got to annex out. We just need to annex out and then nationalize into our own state.
That's right.
Because if we say we gotta say we gotta denationalize or we gotta
repatriate.
Yeah, repatriate that.
Repatriate. Right? That's right.
If we doing that and putting that paperwork in there like that, that means you're making the you're acquiescing and saying and agreeing that you was a citizen and you are a citizen, and that will stop. They will stop because you can't nationalize out of something that you were never in, and so you damn your.
Your 14th Amendment. You do got a 14th Amendment status, so you got to naturalize from that status. If you don't, they gonna presume that you still their property. So you got to deal with that. That's what Cooper was saying about the birth contract. If you got a birth contract.
We using a different
word.
I'm saying annex out of it. You have to annex out of it, not because you to naturalize it's saying that you're a citizen. But if you annex out of the compromise, you're going through the whole process of authentication from the local with that with vote form all the way up to the federal. Right.
Now you said an important word right there, authentication.
Yeah, you're going through where the compromise occurred, and you annex out of the United States corp sole. You annex out of it.
Right.
And so when you annex out of the corp sole corporation, the only way to go is back to the republic, right? Once you
we don't go to no republic. You talking about within the United States? Nah, that's shot back
to it. I'm not saying you go back to it.
Okay. You got your own republic. You got your own republic, your state.
I know that. But I'm saying what people've done once they do it, then they're creating another entity, and then they're coming back in and saying that they're republic. We don't have the republic was set up for them, for their.
That's right.
For settlers. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we do it. I'm just saying after you annex out, you out of it. You done. You cleared. You got the full faith and credit if you do it the proper way. If
and that's what we doing. That's what we doing. We get every individual and gonna have a number one apostille. Every one of you gonna.
I've already done it. I've done it.
You got apostille? You said?
No. I got full faith and credit.
Okay.
We doing an affirmation though. We doing an affirmation specific.
You don't have it just state.
We doing an affirmation.
You don't have it just state.
Well, what happens is I have so I inherited the land from I inherited my inheritance. So I already have my home. My home is already on the crown. My home is already landed the crown. What Polite was talking about. So when I did, I put them on notice, and then I created the foreign trust. I got 2 foreign trusts. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm saying too much, but we
gotta say that for the Zoom because we gotta. Well, listen. First of all, I'm about to kick everybody out. So tomorrow now, Nebuchadnezzar, you coming on tomorrow or not?
Yeah, I'm coming on tomorrow. What time?
What time you coming on tomorrow?
Give me the time. Anytime you ready, I'm coming.
All right, 7:00. White people time according to the SF 181.
Uh-oh. Well, look. My whole thing, write my email, Pharaoh. I give you the email. You still say you don't.
Man, you ain't
it
put
ain't
no
working.
email up there, man.
I did. I kept putting it up there. I said,
nah, my wife, I think, because she was somebody else she put on timeout, so I think she stopped the email. I don't know. They wouldn't come up. But guys, you on now, so put it in the private chat.
Hey, I was about to say, I'm gonna give it to you now. I'm just gonna PMT more stores. You know, it's well, I'm gonna spell it. Let me cut the light on. I put myself in the darkness.
Sis, you come back tomorrow, talk about your baby being locked up and how this information is wrong. It's not wrong because see, it's just like when Polite was using the information, these niggas perverted a lot of the information. And a lot of people now running behind and having pieces of it, not being patient, not being strategic, and not having the proper information, they messed up. A lot of the stuff they messed up. You know, so that's just what it is. Like, we gotta really but listen,
hey y'all, let me ask something real quick. You said something about a sister was in the chat saying she got some kind of problem and the information is wrong. It's really metaphysics, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she mistaken some kind of way.
Somebody, her baby, maybe her son or her man is locked up, and he was trying to use the information and you know, got jacked up. You know how it be in the courts.
Yeah, I mean, they already had the big bond already. If you listen to Kufu, was a step you're supposed to do before you get to the arraignment process.
Whose information?
Yeah, you gotta do. They talk about like special appearance and all that.
Yeah,
I don't care who got everybody who got information out there. It might not be complete, but the information they got out there, if somebody know how to read and follow directions, they should be successful, man. I ain't seen no document out there that if you could read and follow directions, shouldn't be successful.
At least follow the breadcrumbs. At least follow the breadcrumbs.
I mean,
from one point to another.
The whole
dude ain't follow the process too.
Yeah, special appearance. You can't. It's not no special appearance. Spirits don't appear. You don't go into.
Yeah, now you got to do a special appearance. If you don't do a special appearance, they're gonna give you a attorney.
Hold up. That's tomorrow's. We're gonna start off tomorrow. Special delivery tomorrow.
Yeah, tell that sister she need to show up tomorrow. She got specific questions.
Yeah,
you know, I wish she could give her my number, email or something if she got a real problem. You know what I mean? Because it ain't hard to get nobody out of that
concept now.
No, let me close out with this one thing, Pharaoh. Let me just close out with this one thing, please. The reason why I say you don't go into the venue.
Nah. Special appearance is tomorrow. Because Vitar gonna be like,
everybody shutting you down early tonight.
Listen, much I shook to all the family, everybody earshot, eye shot of the God, Brother Rondu, Mahatwi, Patar, Nu, Irvin. I appreciate y'all. The goddess, please come back tomorrow. Okay, come back tomorrow.
Yes, my sister.
And we're gonna build 7 o'clock, Sade, Renee Al. And I appreciate the God Imhotep that came through.
Indeed.
They said Kufu has an open call tomorrow at 2. You know. So it's everybody's out. We brought them out. Everybody out now. It's that time.
You did that. Yeah, you did that.
We just gotta show up and support. We just supporting each other.
We gotta get into the mind of questions. We gotta get these sacred words together, these swords together, and start asking the questions to get the right answers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need to find out who got that creek paper. Who got the creek acknowledgement paper? All we need is that to get them out. Let's find out who got that.
To 7 p.m. I'm gonna be at 7 p.m. white time. I mean, white like SF 181 time.
We the white people. What do you mean? Like the white, like it's referring like you talk about somebody else.
I'm talking about like the original inhabitants of the Middle East,
talking to people,
Europe and
North Africa.
That's right. All right. So like I said, like I in the book, you know what I'm saying, on a regular basis. Like, look, man, it's our time, and if not now, then when? You know what I'm saying? If not this, then what? And if not us, then who? You know, I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Show some ashuk. Do some kind of example of care. Find somebody to call up, check on them, just because you ain't heard them. You know, ashuk is divine love. Rabat is peace. And I'm gonna say peace, woo ashuk to everybody in earshot, man. And y'all give that love out. You know what I'm saying? Peace and divine, unconditional love be upon everybody. Why do? Y'all be safe, Moisa. Appreciate y'all.
Why do, Moisa?
All right. Woo.